Hey, it's Doc Thompson. Got the new show on MoJo 5-0 coming up. Hopefully you'll join us for that. And as a regular feature, my good friend, my life partner, Chef Patrick Mosier. I mean that in a food sort of way.
I would hope so.
Yeah. You'll be joining us on the broadcast as well?
Absolutely. Every day that you ask me to.
Talking food and business and prostitutes, right? Because you're the food biz pro, and that's what the pro's for.
It's all about cocaine and hookers.
It's all about cocaine and hookers until somebody gets arrested. And then it's about the legal system. And well, you get the point. We'll be talking food and food trends and business. And of course, we'll be spotlighting business, as I always have on my broadcast. But Chef Patrick Mosier will join us, and he has his own platform starting soon on Spoonie Radio.
Spoonie Radio, 24-hour food talk radio.
Can you really talk about food for 24 hours a day?
I could, but even I don't want to listen to myself talk about food for 24 hours. So we will have
somebody will.
Someone will be on the air 24 hours a day talking food, fun, travel, culture, and more than anything, food.
Dating today with all the crazies out there has to be nuts.
Yes, it really would. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a place you could go to find people who think like you do?
Like me, like libertarians and conservatives?
Right?
There is WeThePeople.dating.
Amazing. What a genius idea. This is a site that you can go to if you're single and you are looking for somebody who you know you're going to think the same way, as for, from a political freedom standpoint. If you want to date the right person for you, you'll find them in one place. WeThePeople.dating.
Ship has landed.
That is always such a pleasant surprise. I'm always kind of surprised.
It's been a long, long week.
I think that every single day, it's been a long week today. All right, let's do this. You were too early. All right, here we go. Ready?
Always too early.
I got a truckload. That's what's nice. No matter what happens, I always have a truckload of good loving.
Yeah.
We asked you to join us on this daily adventure to learn and grow. We ask that you share what you learn via the program or during the program via social media. We even asked that you use the hashtag What I Learned Today. So we're going to start today immediately by learning something. We're going to learn that adding the word smart to a product does not necessarily make it smart, logical, or even a good idea.
Generally the opposite.
We learned this via television station KDFW, Channel 10 in Dallas. They have a story about a group of high school students from Collin County, Texas, who got fed up, disgusted, verklempt, upset.
They're over it.
Over all of the school shootings with those weapons of war, those guns.
Yeah.
And decided that these high school students would do something about it.
They're fixing the problem.
They have come up with a smart gun.
Hello.
A smart gun, Brad.
That's what we all need, is a smart gun.
I don't think I can properly do justice in explaining their smart gun. I'm going to have to leave it up to them and KDFW Channel 10 Dallas.
After the Las Vegas concert shooting, the school shooting in Parkland, Florida, and numerous guns brought on local campuses, some Collin County students say enough's enough. And this is their solution.
It's fear stimulating, and that just, in my group, that was like, we can't deal with this.
Fear stimulating? Is that what she said?
Yeah. I thought you said but you're right. It's fear stimulating.
She's got a hijab. So I'm guessing she's probably not extremely right-wing. Okay.
And that just, in my group, that was like...
Let me hear you.
This is their solution.
It's fear stimulating, and...
Fear. I think it is.
Stimulating.
Fear stimulating. Stirs up fear.
Social justice warriors, they love to just put words together in combinations that are not necessarily wrong, but are new. And
generally, you have to pay extra if you want your fear stimulated.
That's been my experience.
I mean, and it's not cheap either. That's the problem. That's why I don't get it stimulated.
I like the package deals where you get the happy ending.
Right?
Here we go. Fear stimulating. Gotcha.
And that just, in my group, that was like, we can't deal with this. We have to do something about it. Oh, yeah.
The Plano and Frisco high schoolers are...
Brad, I'm going to show you a picture of the group of them who got together to discuss this. What do you...
It's interesting. They are...
Here's the video shot. They are all very similar, not gender-wise, because, I mean, it looks like it's a mix of genders.
Yes, it does.
Ethnicities and religion, though, seem to be very focused,
They would
like
be, yes.
not diverse at all.
Possibly. I mean, that might be playing into a stereotype. We don't know about the men. The young ladies, however, are
there's
wearing...
seemingly 5 women and 2 men sitting around a table, or boys, males.
One of them's questionable.
The 5 women are all wearing full burqas and hijabs.
I don't think they have a burqa on, do they?
That's the long part, isn't it?
I don't.
The gown.
I thought the burqa went over the face.
Maybe that is it. Well, they got the long gown on, and they got the hijabs.
Yes, they do.
And then the males there look like they are also of similar descent and possibly religious beliefs.
They look a little pissed off.
I don't know why that would be, but okay, it just seems interesting. So here we go. There they are discussing the problem, what they're going to do about it.
The Plano and Frisco high schoolers are in a program called Discover STEM, where students identify real-world problems and try to fix them. Their most recent creation, a smart gun aimed at stopping mass shootings.
See what she did there? Aimed at stopping smart aim.
We realized that at home we have a really grave problem.
The secure gun is a modified...
At home?
A grave problem?
And at home? What does that mean?
Home, we have a really grave problem.
The secure gun is a modified Nerf gun. A camera on the front uses artificial intelligence to...
Okay. First of all, I'm pretty sure that the final product will shoot real bullets, not Nerf.
Well, I mean, they're not going to let them actually use a gun in school while they're testing. So I get they had to use a model, but the technology would still work as far as pointing.
So it's got wires and it's got sensors on it and little cameras. And...
Not sure you want your of Middle Eastern descent and Muslim students walking around with something with a bunch of wires.
Probably not in this climate.
No, I'm working on a smart bomb gun, smart gun to stop
the
people from doing bad.
Might disturb some people.
Okay.
Home, we have a really grave problem.
Here we go.
The secure gun is a modified Nerf gun. A camera on the front uses artificial intelligence to detect if a gun is pointed at a person, crowd, animal, or target.
It's not a person, animal. Okay, it can discern between an animal.
Distinguish between them. Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, yes, Ron.
I started to say, couldn't a person be a target?
Yes, it could be the same. Yeah, maybe they mean a target, like a paper target or something like that. But yeah, so
does it mistake midgets for animals?
Oh, good question, Brad.
That's a good.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just say I can
pointed at a person, crowd, animal, or target.
Crowd. Okay.
If aimed at a person or crowd, the gun limits the amount of times you can pull the trigger.
A person or a crowd, it limits the amount of time you can pull the trigger. Well, before we get on with that, so you're not going to limit it if you pointed at an animal?
Screw the animals.
No. I mean, I'm fine with hunting. That's right. But you don't think these progressives, some of them are going to eventually say,
"Yeah,
we've got to stop people from hunting."
Yeah. That's true. It does leave a lot of back doors open.
Hello. Okay. But moving forward.
Amount of times you can pull the trigger.
You still are allowed to do one bullet every 20 seconds. So that's still, like, if it's for self-defense, it's still going to work.
Okay, now.
Question? I have a question.
Hang on. Let's hear that piece again of how this works.
Or target. If aimed at a person or crowd, the gun limits the amount of times you can pull the trigger.
You still are allowed to do one bullet every 20 seconds. So that's still, like, if it's for self-defense, it's still going to work.
There it is, yes.
You're still allowed.
You got a question
You're still
over there
allowed.
in the corner?
Brad
Staggs,
from MoJo 50.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I'm defending myself with this gun, do I tell the bad guy to hang on a second after I fire one shot and maybe miss? I mean, there's a lot of adrenaline going on.
What are you talking? You're going to get a first shot.
Then you go to whooping his ass, and then you have to shoot again, but you got to count to 20 first.
What if he doesn't have this gun?
No, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Back to the 20 seconds. The 20 seconds. You need more than one shot?
You know, in the heat of the moment, your adrenaline's flowing. You might be a little overly excited. You may not hit him. You may hit him in not the
You're saying
right
you may
spot.
need more than one shot.
I'm saying, I may want to take
and you will get it after 20 seconds.
That could be a problem.
Now, on the other side, let's say you're using the gun for nefarious
I hear
purposes.
Jeopardy music in my head.
Hang on. Hold it. Wait. Wait. It's the law. Maybe we do that, Ron. That's a great point. We also, when we pass, I mean, because you've got to implement this, right? So once they get this into production mode, then you have to say you're only allowed to have guns like this.
Right.
And then we also mandate that bad people will have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
good point.
You go, bang, hold it.
It's the law.
Stop. It's the law.
Time out. Time out.
So how you been? How you been?
6. I've been doing all right. You know, I've been breaking in a few houses around town.
What are you going to do after this? I mean, I guess it depends on how this all works
it all
out, right?
depends. How much more time I got to wait?
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds. No, I'm doing all right. I mean, I killed a guy the other day. About 3 streets up, took his car. And
hold on, I got it now. Okay.
Are we ready? Okay.
Bang,
bang, bang, bang, bang, bang.
Damn it, I missed. Damn it.
It's
Stop right there. It's the law.
Stop.
Yeah.
How's mom and them?
Yeah. How you doing?
What are you doing for lunch
I'm going to
today?
hang on. I got a text message. Do you mind if I get a selfie with you?
Go ahead.
Let's post this right now.
You got any food in the kitchen? Because while we're waiting, I'm kind of hungry.
Hold it right there.
All right.
Bang.
Bang, 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 bang,
Stand still, damn it. Stand still.
I got to wait again?
20 seconds. Hold on.
I'm really serious. I'm just going to go get a sandwich out of the kitchen.
Can I get a selfie?
That seems like that's what's coming next. Why don't you just go ahead and put a camera on this so you can.
It already has a camera.
No, I mean, well, you take pics.
Oh, I guarantee it does.
So you can do that, you know.
So you can identify the bad guy.
Or take selfies and put on social media.
Yeah.
Okay, so that seems like a bit of a problem.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, 20 seconds. So you're saying at times, and this girl seems ignorant about such things.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe her. Yes.
So she's saying you get one shot. But on the other side, let's say if you have nefarious purposes or intentions with
never
the gun,
seen that musical.
and it's going to it makes the person that's going to fire a bunch of shots have to wait 20 seconds as well, right? That's the idea.
Sure. I mean, in theory, if they're holding that gun,
yes,
they've got to do the
you
same
have to
thing.
wait 20 seconds, but at least you can use it for self-defense a little bit.
Right.
And the person that's going to shoot up a crowd, they don't get to shoot anybody.
No.
They don't shoot anybody whatsoever.
No. What if they have 2 of these guns?
Well, they do they get to shoot at least one person.
What if they have 20 guns?
And then if they have multiple guns, then they could just do one every second.
Yeah.
Just keep it going like that. That seems like a bit of a failure. It doesn't really solve the problem.
No, it doesn't, but it sounds cool.
It's a smart gun.
It is a smart gun.
That really isn't smart.
Not
or
very.
logical.
Nope.
Or a good idea.
Or solve the problem.
Yes, it does not solve the problem at all. But I'll bet it makes this girl feel good.
And she'll get government grant money.
Yeah, she probably would.
That's
a
perfect government
And it
grant.
doesn't do you a lot of good if you just get stabbed.
Oh, man.
Or
we missed that one in class.
Exploded.
Yeah, there's that.
Okay, a little bit more. Here we go. The girl.
GPS on the gun would create geofences, stopping it from firing in certain locations like schools and churches.
There's no problem with that, though. Not a problem. Did you, Ron? You seem like you have a question. Ron Phillips, MoJo 50. You have a question.
I'm sorry. Geofences around schools.
Yes, because that way you can't go in and shoot the place up with one of these guns.
I understand that.
You see a problem with that?
Oh no. Well, the problem I see is if the other person is in the school shooting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if the other person is in the school
like
shooting,
self-defense.
Yes.
So,
like somebody's
I don't
in
even
there.
get the 20 seconds to play with.
Yeah, it doesn't even. You don't even. You're not even allowed that one bullet.
But I mean, obviously, nobody would have a gun that would work in there, so it would be a level playing field. The bad guys wouldn't have a gun.
Only person who would ever have a gun in that area that would be a bad guy who doesn't follow the law. I mean, that's the only person who would ever have a gun.
Right, exactly.
So,
obviously, no one's not going to follow the law. Everyone's going to follow the law.
It's the law. You can't not follow it.
And the hell with those people stabbing people.
Right.
Here's my proposal.
All knives should be butter knives.
No. Smart knives.
With a
can
camera?
only stab once every 20 seconds.
Once every 20 seconds. Now, I don't know if it distinguishes between slashing and stabbing. I guess it would probably be the same thing.
Or spreading peanut butter.
Well, that's what it would determine whether or not you're aiming it at peanut butter or a person or an animal. Yeah. So, for example, you'd still be able to, cut meat. You'd still be able to bone a chicken. And, if somebody does come at you with the knife, then you'd be able to hold it, stab. Okay, hang on a second.
Yeah. You know what this is going to do? This is going to allow opportunity for conversations to happen. So what we're going to do is be able to speak to
kind of an outreach.
These troubled individuals.
Why did you just thrust a knife at me?
Exactly.
Why did
you not get enough? Were you not breastfed?
You're right. That's a great point. I hadn't thought about that. It is kind of an outreach program.
It is. And I think this could bring what the world
I'm going to go ahead and put it out there.
Is love.
Heavy blunt object. Smart, heavy blunt object weapons.
Bowling trophies.
Well, I like the whole blanket. You're right. I guess it could be smart bowling trophies. That's a good point.
I mean,
smart golf clubs, smart
tree limbs,
logs, baseball bats,
rocks.
anything.
Smart
safes,
rocks.
Acme anvils, anything like this. And all of them would have technology that would determine if you're getting ready to hit or throw it at a person, a crowd, a target, or an animal.
Right.
And I'm thinking all of them would then have some sort of geofencing.
Yes.
Because why would you ever need any heavy blunt object in a school?
You would never, ever be able to hit, let's say, a little lamb in a petting zoo because they'd have a geofence around the petting zoo.
Now, how about this? We know that in today's world, recently, we've seen something else used as a weapon. Automobiles.
Oh, I thought you were going to say words.
Oh, that's
smart. We need
smart words. That's a great point. And there'd be some sort of geofencing where you couldn't say hurtful things in a school.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that.
You go to say you're you are such a mother.
No, it wouldn't be that. You could call people MFers. You could
that's
do that.
hurtful.
No, it's not. Hurtful words are darky.
So
cracker. Well, no, cracker. You can say carker.
And your oxygen, you'd be able to breathe again in 20 seconds.
I don't think that's enough, though. I don't think that's enough. I think it should actually replace the word.
Oh,
so
yes.
Throw it out there. Go like you were just going to say and have it like stop you.
You're a
wonderful person.
That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say you're a
love you.
I think that might work.
Go ahead, dude. Yeah, go ahead.
You are a
impeach Trump. It's a great point. But what about automobiles? People running through crowds, smart automobiles. We've already got technology that's self-driven. So what we do is do geofencing.
So you can't drive your automobile?
You can drive them in near school.
Or you cannot drive them above a certain speed, let's say 7 miles an hour.
Actually, I think that's coming.
Yeah.
How about, obviously, if you run one person over, then it shuts down for 20 seconds.
Not a bad idea.
So
that would work.
There it is.
That would work. You'd have to wait the 20. That would give the people around an opportunity to attack you. See, here's the problem, though. The people come to stop you with their smart rocks and their smart guns. They only get one shot at it. You got the 20 seconds. So if you start
there's
first,
a lot of them, though.
So they'd have to be a coordinated defense effort. Right. So I'll shoot, then you shoot, then you hit him with the rock, then you shoot.
Then you'll have time.
Yes.
Right.
You get the 20.
Make it count, people. Make it count.
Right.
Smart rocks. Interesting. Interesting.
I'm just saying that this opens up a whole new world of opportunity and danger.
You know that David, the Goliath.
Right.
How many did he have? Was it 5?
It was 5 or 3.
3? 5?
3?
Ron, was it 3? Smooth stones.
Like Ron's going to know.
Yeah, he doesn't know, heathen.
5 smooth stones. Wasn't it?
I'm going to say 5. Regardless.
I missed that.
He would have to wait 20 seconds.
Yes.
So, all right. A little bit more on the smart gun. Picture me making the air quotes. Here we go.
We realize that this will offend some people, but the thing is, you have to have a compromise. Like I said previously, you have to have a compromise in order to have the better of humanity.
You'd have to. Hold on. What did he say? Sorry.
We realize this may offend some people, but you have to have a compromise to have a better humanity. Did we get that right? Here he is again. Right?
We realize that this will offend some people, but the thing is, you have to have a compromise. Like I said previously, you have to have a compromise in order to have the better of humanity.
How many times have I said that just today?
There it is.
I mean, I walked in the door saying you have to have a compromise to have the.
I'm just wondering. I mean, he seems based on garb and who he's hanging out with that he may be Muslim,
which. That does not mean anything.
I'm just saying, shouldn't we have some sort of compromise about his faith? I'm wondering if he'd be willing to have that for the betterment of humanity.
I think that there are a lot of
like he shouldn't be able to express his faith. It's going to offend some people.
We'd have to ask Cal.
Well, Cal's a little different though, but yeah, I mean, just thinking most people of faith. The point is, you're willing to compromise certain things. See, I'm sure there's things that he holds sacred. whatever it is, whether it's that or his family or based on his looks, lunch. He's a chunky monkey.
He's never met a meal he didn't like.
Yes. But would he be willing to compromise those if I think it's for the betterment of humanity? The point is you shouldn't compromise your most trusted or biggest or
your principles.
Values, your
you
principles.
Should never.
The things you hold most dear.
Yes.
You shouldn't compromise those.
Boobs.
If you want to find common ground, fine. That's a good thing. Common ground is let's solve the problem without you having to compromise. And there is a solution to all of this. Go after the bad guys and not the good guys.
You're such a simpleton.
All right, here we go once more.
The prototype and any implementation they know has a long way to go. But sights are set on turning
Short time to get there.
And his sights are set.
Yes.
See that?
this tricked-out toy into a solution to a serious problem. In Plano, Meredith Yeomans, NBC.
There it is.
This is the best chili I've ever had.
No, this is the best chili I've ever had.
So there it is.
So it's solved.
Done.
It's solved.
Solve the problems.
What we need to do is arm police officers with these. That would stop police brutality too.
We missed one big point here, and that is assuming they had their wish. This gets built and it gets mandated.
Yes.
Are the bad guys going to have these guns?
Not when we take them away. We just knock on their door and ask for their guns. That's all. I see this plan working if you implement it now in approximately the year 6,320.
Yeah, it's not actually going to happen.
It might.
No, it's not.
Don't say never, because as soon as you say never, you're tempting fate.
Yeah, it's not going to happen there.
It's possible.
It's just for. Why would the bad guys buy a gun like this? Why would they? Why would they?
Are
have
you
a gun
suggesting that bad guys are not good citizens?
Yes, that's exactly what. No, I'm not even suggesting.
Wow.
I'm outright saying.
Really, you're going on the record with that?
Yes, yes.
You hate-filled. Whoa! I can't believe. Are you the person I sit next to every morning?
I just
can't believe you said that.
It still goes back to the same thing. It's not the good guys you have to worry about. It's not the people using it for self-defense. It's not for the hunters. It's not for any of that. You're still targeting with these laws and rules and technology the people you already don't have to worry about. This is like saying we are going to offer a bunch of counseling as a preemptive to people who have no desire to kill themselves. But the people that have a desire to kill themselves, we're not going to think about that. We are offering weight loss, free Riduzone to thin people. What about the fatties? Nah, we haven't figured that one out yet.
We don't want to offend them. We don't want to offend the fatties.
Do you realize how stupid that is?
Yes.
We are providing food for people that have food. People that are full. It's our new government program. Give food stamps to people who don't need them.
Yeah, they already do that.
We have a new program out, Brad. A new program to battle homelessness. We are going to provide home, shelter, some form. Maybe it's rent, building houses to people that have homes.
Well, wait, that wouldn't.
That's how we're battling homelessness. You don't think homelessness is a problem?
That's not going to help.
You know how many veterans are out on the street?
They're still going to be out there on the street.
What are you talking about? Our program gives homes away.
It's not going to do anything.
Doesn't it? Does it give homes away?
It does give homes away.
Okay, there it is. That's how you battle homelessness.
You have to give them to the right people.
What do you mean?
Oh, the people without homes. That's who you have to give them to, and that's how
I don't
you
think
solve
that's how
the
it works.
homeless problem. It's
this is what they constantly do. Most people that own guns have never used it nefariously to assault somebody. Most people that own guns even follow basic gun safety. Not even laws, just gun safety. Most people, overwhelmingly. And yet, I mean, how many, they say there's 1 or 2 guns for every person in America. Is it 2?
Oh, it has
something
to be,
like that.
At least 2.
Hundreds of millions of guns in America. Yeah. How many of them used to murder?
A very, very tiny, infinitesimal percentage.
Yet those are the ones you're not worried about. You're worried about all of the guns that have never been used to hurt anybody and the people that use them. This is the nonsense.
Yes.
You're not going after the people that do bad or the problems. In fact, you are once again tying the hands of people who want to use guns for protection or just want to have guns because it's their constitutional right or because it's fun or they're sports shooters or whatever the hell other reason. These are not the people you have to worry about, but these are the ones you continue to target.
It sounds like a typical government program.
Do you really believe that all of those people are that dumb?
Yes, they do.
No, I don't think. I think some of them are that dumb. Some of them know exactly what they're doing. This is crap. This is BS, so they can throw it out there and seem like they're reasonable when they want to get rid of all guns. No, we just need common sense gun laws and smart gun technology. Stop it. Even the technology where they said, no, we want handprint identification, so that way no one can get your gun and use it, whatever. I don't know if you know this. That stuff doesn't always work. And in an emergency, burglar in your house at night. How come it's not going? My palm isn't pressed enough.
You got some sweaty palms, and that's a big problem with the iPhone.
Did you program it so your wife's hand uses it as well?
Then
come on, guys.
You can do that, but
but you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
though.
it's they don't think about the emergency situation.
How about allowing people to make their own choices? And most people, when it comes to guns, make good choices overwhelmingly. And I'm tired of defending this nonsense. It's time we start promoting the stories that show that guns have done an amazing amount of good in the world and protect people all the time.
Wow.
Plus, they're a lot of damn fun.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So, smart technology isn't always smart. It's not always logical. It's not always a good idea.
Oftentimes, it's funny.
True.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill for a Friday. I'm begging you, in the name of all that is good and holy, to stop looking at government as the answer to all of our problems. Yes, we need government for a few things, but we don't need government to be our parents. What am I talking about? The latest case of a bunch of people looking at government to solve problems instead of stepping in and trying to do it themselves. In Washington State, a mom put a flyer up in her neighborhood saying that her daughter, her almost 10-year-old daughter, was ready to be a mama's helper. And maybe the kid could pick up a few shekels doing housework for some of the neighbors. Mom put up the flyer, talked about her daughter, and said, if you're interested, give me a call, write me an email, and I'll sit down with you. Meaning Mom would screen the people who might want to use her daughter's skills in laundry, house cleaning, babysitting, whatever. The kid's almost 10. Some people have a problem with that. I was shoveling driveways, delivering newspapers, and raking leaves for money when I was 8, 9, and 10 years old. But it's 2019. Busybody neighbors called 911 and Child Protective Services, and so Mom got a visit from the cops because they thought she was running some sort of child slave business. It's not only insane, it's a total misappropriation of the police and taking them away from solving crimes. No, instead, we've got them checking in on parents who are trying to teach their kids responsibility. Testudo, my friend. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
What's that look for, Brad Staggs? Or Blad, either one.
What the hell is this? This is still America, isn't it?
Are you talking about the Opelka story?
Yes, you can't even put up flyers to advertise your kids are for rent.
Yeah, this is a kid who wanted to do some chores around town, make a couple of extra bucks, and help out.
How are they supposed to make money as kids?
Video gaming online.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean remember when it used to be like a badge of honor that you were willing to work and stuff?
Yes.
And now it's like child labor laws.
I want to buy that new whatever. I'm gonna go mow a few lawns and
I mean, I have no problem with them checking on the kid if you think something's wrong, but why would you automatically assume something is wrong simply because the kid has a flyer up that says they're willing to do some chores around town?
That's insane. It's just this.
I found it really frustrating when I was like 12 or 13 and I was trying to get a summer job, and I was severely limited in what I could do with that stuff. It's like, why can't I at 12 or 13, if I want to wash dishes in a restaurant, go do it, or couldn't do it?
We are on a slow walk to anarchy. We're 1 foot in front of the other. We are just, and we're going to look back and go, man, why didn't we see it there?
It's going to pop like a frog on a hot plate.
This is really scary. Bang 97, the future of sleeves, learned, I realize this will offend some Muslim DFW public high schoolers, but people with common sense know that criminals never compromise when it comes to the weapons they use to commit their crimes.
That's the insanity of this.
Yes.
That they never are challenged on that one simple. If you are genuine, if you are on the left and you are genuine and saying, well, I don't want to see people murdered, what can we do? Let's have a conversation. If you're genuine, you must start with good people. You don't have to worry about good people. And how do you explain that away?
Well, in all fairness, maybe the teacher said, maybe we didn't get that part of the story. We should probably talk to these.
What do you mean?
Maybe the teacher told them, look, once you've designed it, maybe she had the talk, she had the talk with them saying, what do you do about, bad guys who are using
But they still headed down that road. So they obviously didn't get it if that conversation did happen.
I'm not saying stuck. I'm just saying maybe they attempted to teach them.
I don't think they likely did. I'm guessing.
I'm trying to look on the bright side of humanity just for a second.
The only direction you can head in with any of this stuff is that even good people sometimes do bad things.
Yes.
If that's their argument, okay. What percentage of them? Remember, their argument when I bring up, what about all the people killed by guns and knives and heavy blunt objects? Or excuse me, knives and heavy blunt objects and other things, aside from guns. They always go, well, guns, there's more people killed with guns, so we got to go after those first. They don't even say first. They just say that's the priority.
Well,
and then you see what happens in England. Then there's additional gun or knife crimes, and they start going after the knives. So that's what's coming, by the way, if they had their wish. But
wait till they have to pick up all the rocks.
Right. There's another one. There's another one. We get the inmates out there doing that.
Where are we going to put them all?
In a landfill.
You know what that's going to do?
What's that?
It's going to knock the center of gravity off on the Earth.
And it'll tip over and capsize. No, if your argument is guns are the most prolific killers and that's the reason you have to go after them first, well, again, you have to go after the people that are using them first. And who's using them? Primarily bad people, not good people gone wrong or crime of passion or anything like that.
They'll just continue to argue that it's the access to the weapons of mass destruction,
as they call them, or weapons of war, as they say. Okay, access, fine. It's only bad people. So if you, well, what about crazy people, those that are mentally ill? All right, fine. I will give you that. There's a lot of people that have been involved who have killed people.
Yes.
Not just with guns, but let's use guns, for example, that are crazy. They're not in their right mind.
Right.
You go down the list. I mean, every one of them that comes up, what do they have in common? Crazy eyes.
Yes.
The Jared Loeffner, who shot Gabby Giffords.
Yes. Yep.
Crazy eyes.
Oh, totally.
He looks like Uncle Fester. Then you got the Aurora, Colorado, Holmes.
Yeah.
James Holmes? It was James Holmes.
Yes.
It was James Holmes. That's the guy. Not only crazy eyes, he's got the red hair. I mean, looks off.
Yeah.
He looks like every picture that they take of him in court and that looks like someone just slapped him on the side of the head with a 2x4.
Well,
and he has that good look.
That's because he was abused as a child, and that's that.
What about Parkland? I'm not Parkland. Newtown.
Lanza. Who was that?
Adam Lanza.
Yeah. He had crazy eyes too. Yes.
They're all and not just crazy eyes. A history of mental illness. Most of them did not legally buy their guns. We know this.
Right. Well, but in the future, crazy people will only have access to legal weapons. So, I mean, it's a beautiful future if you can make that happen.
Well, that's the key. I will give you that maybe crazy people, no, not even maybe, crazy people should not have guns.
Yes, but define crazy.
Define crazy. Once you define it, what's to keep somebody else from moving that needle a little bit? Well, Brad, you raised your voice yesterday in the store because you were upset, so it shows you're unstable.
People are going to have to wear helmets, smart helmets, that tell you whether or not, if their lights are red, that means they're crazy.
They're okay today. I mean, that's what you're talking about. And then veterans. You come home, you start with PTSD for a while, you get right, you're doing okay. Well, you once went and talked to somebody. How about you talk to a marriage counselor? You're having a little trouble in the marriage. You just want to talk it out. You and your spouse go, and then, well, you went to a marriage counselor, you went to a counselor, so maybe you shouldn't have a gun because, domestic violence and all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of hurdles that we have that they just won't look at.
No.
They won't look at the real problem. They're grabbing the low-hanging fruit.
And this is the reason why the gun sales continue to be huge in America. They actually fuel gun sales in America because people know if they have their way, they will eventually come for your guns. And let me back up. Eventually, they will come door to door if they have their way because they're already coming for your guns, as evident by that news story I played. They are coming for your guns in one fashion. Obama never came after bullcrap. He pushed the gun legislation that failed in the Senate. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
They tried to get a gun bill passed that would do nothing, and they've never taken your guns. They've never confiscated. Really? State by state. What about the different state laws that have been passed to infringe your Second Amendment rights with the number of bullets you can have in a gun? What's the magazine capacity? Bump stocks were just outlawed. They are coming after your guns.
And Trump did that.
Right.
By executive order, didn't he? He just signed that which is crazy.
Yeah, have you Trump supporters forgotten that? That's a huge problem for me. This is the reason people continue to buy guns at the level they do. And that's one of the reasons I continue to buy guns. And yes, stockpile. I'm stockpiling guns. You know the only thing for keeping me from having a larger stockpile?
You don't have enough room in your safe.
Money. Because I'll just buy another safe.
Yeah, a bigger safe.
If I was a I'm talking 10, 20 million bucks, I'd have a full arsenal. I'd have a couple thousand guns. Why the hell wouldn't I? They're fun.
Yeah.
They're mine.
They're good
and
investment.
They're just in case, and they're investment.
I have a gun that I bought in 1985 for $500, and it's worth like $600 now. I mean, I'm not retiring on it. I'm just saying guns don't lose their value.
Right. They're going to hold it or maybe even make more.
Yeah.
So, Brad, seriously, if you had $50 million, that's your net worth.
Hookers and blow.
Aside from that, you wouldn't have a stockpile of guns. You already have a stockpile too.
I mean,
your stockpile is bigger than my stockpile. I'm a little emasculated by it, but regardless, why wouldn't you have 2 or 3 pieces of property around the country, your hunting reserve, an additional house where you have the secret room with 500 guns in each one? Why wouldn't I? That's the only thing stopping me.
And you, again, it's like I said yesterday, the fact that if it ever comes to taking on the government, a hostile government, there are going to be some people without guns that you got to share your guns with.
Right. Well, like I said,
crazy talk.
I'd rather be in that situation and have the option than not.
I'd rather have too many than not enough.
Right. I'd rather have the option. Yeah, too many than not enough.
You people are crazy.
Well, there's good news if you want to build your stockpile, your cache of weapons as well.
Hey, can I?
And you're looking at the price and saying, you know what, I just don't have enough money to have a stockpile of assault weapons. Well, there's good news.
Yeah, traguns.com.
That's the place.
I'd like to share a little happy success story from Tony.
Okay.
From Tony. This is a listener, and this was actually addressed to you. So apparently, I don't matter. Doc, my wife has been faithfully watching and following you since you started with the dumpster fire.
Thank you.
She was heartbroken when you left and ecstatic when she found you on MoJo. I owe you a debt of gratitude. I came home from work, and she was there with my best friend. No,
wait, what?
She said
that's the Dear Pet House version.
No, that's true. Sorry. Here's the right one. I came home from work and she had watched you. She told me about the show you did about the man that shot the guy in the butt with a shotgun. You said the pumping action of the shotgun was enough to scare an intruder.
It would be me.
That night, she allowed me to buy a sweet 12 gauge for home protection. So thank you for convincing her we needed it. From Tar River Arms.
Hey, listen, it just makes sense.
It does.
If you've got a spouse or somebody else you know, I mean, some of the rabid people you're never going to convince, but I think you can probably help them too. But if you've got somebody that's a little, well, I just don't know, I'm uncomfortable, whatever, take them shooting.
Yes. That will be.
Take a 1-hour gun safety class with your local NRA chapter or your state chapter, gun enthusiast club, Second Amendment groups. Take a class. You will be less intimidated by guns and more confident right off.
Yeah, it's most people who don't like guns just don't understand them.
They've never fired a gun. They've never been around a gun.
And they are really, really fun. You go out target shooting.
Well, it becomes this this almost mythical. It doesn't exist. They've built up this thing.
They'll have an aha moment.
I'm trying to think like how to describe it. It's an unreal, like monster, a straw man, boogeyman under the
word of advice.
Bed.
Though. Don't put a 357 in their hand the first time. Put a 22 in their hand. Let them
that's
shoot with a 22.
Don't try the higher caliber ones because that's a little stinging if they're not used to.
Start off with the the gateway gun.
Right.
The 22.
I've told this story. I took my wife to the gun show, and she was.
Is that a euphemism?
No, unfortunately, it's not. Yeah, we go there, and she was like, "I just want, to carry, just something small." She's not. She's gone through the gun classes. She doesn't have a problem. She wants to carry, but she's like, "I just don't want anything really big to carry every day." She was like, "So just like a 22, maybe a 30." I said, "You're at least getting a 38. Maybe a revolver. That's fine."
She'd shot before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's like, I just, and I said, okay. So we're at the gun. She's like, that 9mm not bad though. She's, it fits real good in my hand or whatever. By the end, she was like, if I get 4 Desert Eagles, I can get, she just get, every table we went
you've only
to,
got 2 hands.
She ratcheted the caliber up. She actually said at one point, she's like, well, that 45 isn't that big.
Right.
And Brad, as she's
used to small weapons.
Yes, she is. I was like this. Well, whatever you want.
I have to say, there are going to be some people, if you take your significant other out to shoot, they're not going to like it. In which case, you should just divorce them because you're obviously married to a crazy person.
Right.
Yeah.
She does not like the shotguns because, those things those have a
Shotguns
kick.
hurt.
They do. They have a kick.
I was in Connecticut.
But you're such a badass when you cock it. You make
but
sound
the bruise.
Well, you don't go target shooting a shotgun 400 times.
You ever shot skeet? Or was trap and skeet? There's 2. One of them comes out from over
I did
you.
it one of the gun.
I suck at it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Suck.
Now
bad.
I remember what you said. So I was like, yeah.
It was
we
like,
did it at
like
the place over here with
pole,
the charity,
and it's And a friend of mine, too, he said, it's just one of those things. When you get it, you'll get it. And I'm like, I ain't getting it.
No, it's true because have you seen the people that they throw up like 42 of them?
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
And the guy, they got pull. They do one, and I'm like, miss. This guy, his gun is like separated with no rounds in it in his car, and he goes pull. He runs to the car, unlocks it, assembles the gun, come back, and shoots all 45 pigeons.
I hate overachievers like that.
Like, geez, you're just mocking me here. Look, hey, if you want to build your stockpile up, I suggest you start at Tar River Arms. That's TRAguns.com because they have amazing prices, and they make it really simple when it comes to shipping to your local FFL.
You'll be a much better dancer if you get a gun there, too.
Yep.
And your IQ will go up 14 points. 15 now if you buy right now.
TRAguns.com, TRAguns.com. And I hope you don't think I'm being sensational in saying you have to get them today because there is another challenge right now to your Second Amendment rights.
Are you kidding?
Did you see the gun bill that they're introducing in the Senate?
Is this the legislator from California?
Yeah, this is Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah, that guy.
It's a woman, Dianne, former mayor of San Francisco.
Don't
she is introducing a new gun bill. My golly, how many of you haven't figured it out yet?
If at first you don't succeed, try.
They will never stop this. This is the reason I defend the NRA so much. At least they're out there every day doing battle. So I don't have to be quite as involved.
Right. There's
just so many rights that we're out there defending constantly. I don't have the time.
Well,
crap, they're attacking this. I can't have trans fats now. They're coming after the guns. It's not. So these organizations that are out there that are like, okay, you're doing some of the heavy lifting. Great. Wonderful.
All those baby killers at the NRA.
They will never stop coming after your guns. It's not going to happen. No. This is the reason the Virginia Citizens Defense League, kind of the gun group of Virginia that does so much good, they never stop pushing for repealment of gun laws that have already passed.
Right.
To try to, they're not happy, and we should not be happy with, okay, is everyone good right here? Let's just stop.
Right. No, it's a constant battle.
Because the other ones will constantly battle. So I've got to build up as much steam on the other side. You know what I mean? Do everything I can. Pass legislation that makes it even harder for them to pass legislation in the future. Whatever I can do, it's a constant struggle.
They're never going to pass stupid laws like, outlawing bump stocks and making you a felon in 3 months. By the way, if you don't surrender your bump stock by March of this year, you are a felon. If they find you with a bump stock, you are a felon. Bump stocks are...
do they describe what they are specifically?
The bump stock ban final rule, which was officially published on 12/26/18, defines these bump fire stocks as machine guns. From that date, individuals must surrender or destroy.
But do they give specifics of what the bump stocks are? Does it say like the skim? Does it say this big that attaches this way? That does this?
Bureau to clarify that bump stock type devices, meaning quote bump fire unquote stocks, slide fire devices, and devices with certain similar characteristics are quote machine guns end quote.
Okay, certain similar characteristics.
Yes, define
the reason I ask that because there's no way to truly define it.
No, it's
because if I say, well, it's a stock that when it recoils, it automatically fires.
What about your finger?
Right.
You're gonna have to cut your fingers off.
We've said before, people make them out of belts. They make them out of all kinds of things. So they have to say similar type devices, but then again, it's so broad that your finger could be considered.
Yeah. So if you're using a belt to do it, does that make you a felon? So is it the act or is it the device?
This raw law and rule would likely have been challenged by gun groups anyways, but the fact that there's no way to describe bump stocks that would not catch other things like your finger. It's too broad. There's no way to be so specific to just get bump stocks, meaning this is going to be thrown out eventually.
Well, I was going to say, the fact that it's an executive, it was executive order, right?
I think it was.
I think so, because he passed it really quickly.
Yeah.
So as an executive order, it can be overturned.
It will be, yeah.
Much more easily than any legislation that had gone through Congress.
What nonsense,
But that's my point, is that if that's why he did it that way, he knows it can be rescinded at any point by any future Republican or conservative president, or even by himself.
You don't need a bump stock to kill a lot of people, or even an automatic.
No, you just need a fast finger.
You don't even need that.
What do you need?
An airplane into the side of a building.
Well, they've outlawed airplanes, so we don't.
A car going through a crowd.
Cars aren't legal anymore.
Explosive device in a school.
You can't have those either.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, they've taken care of all.
Key provisions of the bill that Dianne Feinstein and Dick Blumenthal and other communists on Capitol Hill introduced. The key provisions would ban the sale, manufacture, transfer, and importation of 205 military-style assault weapons by name.
Bad name. They're the bad names. I didn't even see the list.
I don't either, but again, military-style assault weapons, I don't think we have to rehash that, do we?
No.
And all the failures?
Anything that looks really badass, they want.
So you're saying now then, okay, they're going to ban the sale, manufacture, and transfer and importation of 205 of these. What if you have one?
Again, it's probably going to be like the bump. Oh, no. I think in this legislation,
you can keep it.
You can keep it, but you can't
transfer it.
You can't transfer it, so you're stuck with it's worthless. I mean, well, it's not worthless. You can.
I mean, you have it.
Yeah.
For your use.
Yeah, and if
you won't be able to. Right.
If it's not registered, you can sell it.
No. If it's not registered, but that would be illegal regardless.
Yeah, it'd be,
But legally, it would ban the sale, manufacture, transfer, and importation. And the only reason they did that is, and didn't put they're illegal completely, is because you'd be confiscating guns. This is their end around.
Yeah.
Again, the bill outlaws the guns, and you will not be able to keep yours. Well, you'll keep it as long as you're alive. But the second you die, that would be a transfer to your family, and it would have to be turned in.
And they don't list the.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a backdoor confiscation.
Yeah, they would, and it's the camel's nose under the tent.
Yes. It also bans any assault weapons that accepts a detachable ammunition magazine. What?
Because it looks mean. Because you can take that magazine off and put another one on. Or you could just have two weapons that hold the same amount of ammunition. It says
any assault weapon that accepts a detachable ammunition magazine. So what is their assault weapon? It says military style. Does that include handguns then?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
if you're digging deeper, there's something about a pistol grip. So yeah, they don't like that.
But I mean, think about this. Is it Is it handguns as well?
It's far too.
Don't most handguns have a magazine?
Yeah. Yes, a pistol.
Unless
yeah.
it's
well,
unless
but
it's a revolver.
even with a revolver, there are
those
quick
are
change
technically
cylinders. So you can. I mean,
is that called a magazine? A cylinder?
It's a
technically,
cylinder. No, it's just it's a cylinder. It's a
okay.
Dirty Harry. Remember, he could change his out pretty quickly.
Okay,
it's only 6 rounds, but still.
Okay, so the assault weapons they're talking about that would ban the attachable magazines have to have military characteristics that include a pistol grip, a forward grip. Okay, so it wouldn't be handguns. A barrel shroud, a threaded barrel, or no, it doesn't have to have all of these, any of these.
Any of them.
A threaded barrel, a folding or telescopic stock.
That's the one I don't understand.
Wait a minute, pistol grip is a pistol has a pistol grip?
Yes, it does.
So couldn't
Yes, I mean, yeah, in this verbiage, yeah, they could be.
It's certainly questionable.
Yes, it is. And that's what they're trying to do, is keep it all nice and vague. It's the folding stock I don't understand.
It also, why these people are out of their gourd.
I think they said because you can conceal it more easily, you can make the gun smaller, therefore you can conceal it more easily. I don't know. You're trying to find the logic.
Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, or you can just carry them. You can hide them in plain sight.
You could just carry cases and cases of them into a hotel.
Yeah.
It's their arguments of why it's going to stop people break down.
Well, and
I mean, how many of them? Newtown, Parkland, they didn't have collapsible stocks.
I can't remember what weapons were used.
I think most of those were.
They give examples at the end of this.
Okay, well, the final provision, key provision, is it would ban magazines and other ammunition feeding devices that hold more than 10 rounds of ammo, which allow shooters, they write, to quickly fire many rounds without reloading, so on and so forth.
And again, what if you have 2 weapons that each hold 10 rounds?
Exemptions. The bill exempts by name more than 2,200 guns for hunting, household defense, or recreational purposes. The bill includes a grandfather clause that exempts all weapons lawfully possessed at the date of the enactment.
So, but again, it exempts them from transfer? So does it?
No, not transfer, though.
Well, but it says it includes a grandfather clause that exempts all weapons lawfully possessed. So does it exempt them from transfer?
No, transfer is different. Lawfully possessed does not include transfer.
But that's nebulous. I mean, that's at least a question mark.
What they're doing, right? I don't think it's a question mark. What they want to do is they want to confiscate them. They want them to not exist. But they know if they have any hope of this passing, they cannot ask for you to turn your gun in.
Right.
It won't happen.
Yeah.
In fact, you end up with a bunch of Ruby Ridge type crap going on. Seriously, people start digging in. I'm not saying I want it, and this is not me being sensational. There are a lot of people in America, you start telling them to turn in their guns in any way, it's on. That's it. That's the Civil War. It's done. And they know this, so it's got to be chipping away. They know how this works. The transfer is the backdoor confiscation because they will go away. We stop any more sales of them now. Manufacturer sales existence. The only ones that will exist from the list they provided are ones that you have. You can keep them. We're not getting rid of them. But you can't ever sell them to anybody or transfer. So even if you die, that's a transfer.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's done.
Yeah. And I don't think they've released the list of what they are exempting. Or what they are allowing to be.
Oh, it also requires a background check on any future sales, trade, or gifting of an assault weapon, covered by the bill. It requires grandfathered assault weapons, as they're describing them, are stored using a secure gun storage or safety device like a trigger lock. Prohibits the transfer of high-capacity ammunition magazines.
Wow.
What is high capacity?
Yeah.
10, as they said.
Didn't they not, wasn't it used to be 13, 12 or 13?
Bunch of them got knocked down.
Yeah.
New York's, didn't they drop theirs down to 7, New York State?
Something like that, yeah.
It was, yeah. And again, so you can get off 7 rounds. Well, you can't kill anybody with 7 rounds. I mean, that's the stupidity of it. So let's say you hit somebody with every friggin' bullet that comes out of it. And you're that. So you're okay. You can shoot 7 people, but not 10. Well, we saved 3 people from being shot.
Right.
That sounds swell if you're one of the 3 saved, but what about the other 7? The seventh person isn't like, why didn't you limit it to 6?
And it is 10. Well, as of 2000.
Is it 10 in New York?
This is an old post. New York.
Maybe it was 10. I thought it was 7.
10.
One of them was pushing for 7.
This is in
And it was an
2009.
odd number. It also bans bump stocks as officially, not just an executive order.
Well, but an executive order covers all states.
It does, but it's
federal
still
law.
But it can be repealed, and it's only there by presidential decree. So the next president can just turn it over. Whatever.
So,
which I don't like anyways, but regardless. So what this says to me is they are going for the gold here. This is not one or two little provisions. You see the number of things in this law they're working on. This is big. What are the odds they don't pass something? Remember, there are a lot of Republicans that will sell out. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski. These people will sell out on this stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got all the Democrats, lock, stock, and barrel, right? You've got, all you need is 4 Republicans, something like that. And then you need the president to sign it. Well, Trump would never sign something like this.
You'd never.
He just executive ordered bump stocks.
Yeah. And
so I don't know. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying he, to me, when it comes to this stuff, is an unknown commodity. And the cat needs a couple of wins for people on the left as you head down to 2020. So maybe this bill doesn't pass in total.
Right.
They always start these bills with more. Because they're willing, if they get one of these provisions passed, it is a massive win for them.
Yeah.
So are you prepared for any of these provisions to pass?
Okay, we'll let you have a threaded barrel.
Right, 1 or 2. They get the wins. I suspect that something is going to pass. Something is going to get passed, a gun bill of sorts that will limit your Second Amendment rights. It will pass in the Senate when a couple of Republicans sell out. It'll pass in the House, and Trump will sign one of these.
Slow walk to anarchy.
So get them now, because you're not going to be able to transfer them. TRAguns.com. TRAguns.com.
Long commercial. Long.
It wasn't actually, it was content, but it just was timely.
Right.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. She disappeared on the day her parents were killed in the family home almost 3 months ago. Now, a 13-year-old Wisconsin girl has been found alive about an hour from her home, and police say that a suspect is in custody.
The mayor of Barron, Wisconsin, Ron Flatten, says knowing Jamie Kloss is safe and alive is unbelievable, and it's like taking a big black cloud in the sky and getting rid of it, and the sun comes out again. Her cousin, Lacey Nyberg, writes on her Facebook page, "There are no words to describe the feeling of so many coming together to help." She called on people to continue to pray for Jamie's well-being and our family's healing. I'm Tim McGuire.
President Trump says Democrats ought to be ashamed of themselves for opposing border security, including the wall, to the point where they're willing to prolong the partial government shutdown.
It's an indefensible position. And even people that aren't into it like we are, where we're studying it and working and we want to end it and we can end it, everybody knows that what we're saying is right.
It's day 21 of the shutdown, roughly 800,000 federal workers affected.
With the shutdown now in its 21st day, federal workers are feeling the pinch, especially today. This was supposed to be payday, but no checks are going out because of the budget impasse over border wall funding. Asked yesterday about the pain endured by furloughed workers, the president instead pointed to the suffering of people whose loved ones were killed by illegal immigrants. Greg Clugston, the White House.
The process of withdrawing U.S. troops from Syria has started. That's according to an American military spokesman for the coalition fighting ISIS. And the Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says the withdrawal began last night. On Wall Street, stock futures in the red this morning. Right now, Dow futures down about 29 points. S&P futures off 5. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com. Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. Over recent years, American government has become increasingly plagued with corruption. In fact, last year alone, nearly 1,000 officials were indicted. Significantly, voter participation has declined over those very same years. Yet it should not be surprising that increased public corruption and decreased voter turnout might be related. In 1876, President James A. Garfield, himself a Christian minister, warned us, now, more than ever before, the people are responsible for the character of their Congress. If that body be ignorant, reckless, and corrupt, it's because the people tolerate ignorance, recklessness, and corruption, and because those who represent the morality of the nation do not aid in controlling the political forces. As the upcoming election draws near, demand more in the quality of your government. Vote, and vote wisely.
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8-REBUILD.
What?
It's an extra beat. Maybe it's in my head.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Most people don't.
All right.
Let's just move on.
All righty, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What's he saying about the chat room?
Oh, somebody named Lee Newton Rhodes for president is in the Facebook chat room right now, watching the broadcast, and has a blue check mark, which society's become obsessed now with blue check marks. So we just don't know who Lee.
Do you have a blue check mark?
Shut up.
I'm just asking.
No.
Oh.
You know, paint a million masterpieces. They'll never call you an artist. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't have one either. Wait, I do. You know, I do. That's right, I do.
You know, I think you're compensating for something small, like Izzo.
Wow, Izzo had took some exception with you last night.
Look, it's apparent the guy is trying to he probably has a little red sports car too.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
What are you saying?
I think it's obvious.
I don't think you're saying the sports car is a penis.
I did not say that. Did I say that?
I'm asking.
You said it. Just to be clear, you brought that up.
I asked it. I did bring it up. Yes,
you did bring it up. So if if it may be compensating, it may not be. I'm just saying it sure looks like it.
Because he,
I mean, he had the towel covering it for a reason. You think
it wasn't a very big towel?
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
very small towel. It's like a washcloth,
or like a hand towel.
Yeah.
Which is
barely
interesting.
Like
but he was giving you the business last night, though. He obviously,
he was drinking. He gets a little loose-lipped when he starts when he starts throwing the beer back. And
Ron Phillips. It's easy for Brad to say that when Dominic Izzo is thousands of miles away in Chicago.
That's right.
Like you think he'd have the.
Although he's quickly getting the jackholes on his side.
He is.
So be careful, Bradley.
I'm just
they
saying,
could turn on you.
I just may or may not have information on him that you don't have. I'm just saying.
He's used to police in the South Side, Chicago. That's the baddest part of town.
Yeah.
And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. It's the bad part of town, Brad.
Yes, and he's familiar with it.
He was a suburb cop. What are we talking about? Please.
That's absolutely correct.
So he's giving you the business, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand with Dominic Izzo. You attacking his manhood that way?
I was not attacking. I was merely pointing it out.
That's the word obsessed came out last night.
I am not obsessed with his manhood.
Okay. So I'm going to give you an opportunity just to clarify, just make an official statement. Here you go.
I've already said. I think I've said it quite clearly.
Just go ahead and throw it out in case anybody missed it. Your thoughts, Dominic Izzo, go.
It is right there. I think I have said it clearly in words that anyone can understand.
And those words are?
I stand by that statement.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
And this portion of your profound headlines brought to you by EraCapitalManagement.com. If you don't want to live in a cardboard box when you retire, talk to the experts at Era Capital Management today.
But it's a Calvinator box. It's a big one.
There's something to be said for living in a box if you can do it by a river.
It's a KitchenAid box. It's a stainless steel, double side.
If you're good with that, I'm good with it too. No judgment here. Topping the headlines this morning, sex at first sight could lead to better relationships.
I saw this headline and just knew that would be something you would read.
Why buy
Did you click on it?
Did I click on it? I devoured it.
So sex at first sight, that seems really immediate.
Yeah, but it comes from a team of Israeli psychologists, and you know what they say, you can never trust them. Jeez. Fast sex actually helps initiate stronger relationships. It's actually a joint study.
So they mean they're playing off of love at first sight, but they don't mean like, how you doing, Brad? Doc Thompson. Whoop. Bam, chicken pow.
Well,
I mean, is it that quick, or is it, hey, how you doing? Let's have a drink, and within the next hour or so it happens?
In 4 studies, the participants were introduced to a stranger of the opposite sex. Researchers found that anonymous attraction triggered behaviors that can promote emotional bonding.
Not just emotional bonding.
This is what happens when you let a psychologist try to explain sex. Although sexual urges and emotional attachments are distinct feelings, evolutionary and social process is likely.
I hate.
I'm sorry, I got bored.
I hate Generation X.
Why?
Because that's what I am.
We missed the free love thing.
We got everything wrong.
Yeah.
Do you realize how we got screwed by not getting screwed?
Right.
Back in the day. What was it? By the time we came of age and started looking around, you know, at the age of
Linda Chavez.
10. Anyway, started looking around and noticing these things, right? What did we hear? You'll die.
Yes.
AIDS.
Yeah.
It was bad enough when they're like, you'll be dripping green. That was bad enough, but you're like, there's penicillin, right?
And the Q-tip test. Woo!
I had a cousin of mine tell me about that, too.
Oh, yeah.
They also had to scrape, but that's a whole different thing. Anyway, so we come of age, and they're like, you'll die, don't do it.
Right. I know. We were born at the wrong time.
Prior to us, it was free love. It's like, get your groove on.
They were doing it out in the field at Woodstock.
And after I get to the age where people are like, you're just way too old to have sex with. And that was like 24 or something.
That's because you were ugly.
That's true, too.
Yes.
Then what happens? All of a sudden, chicks are sending pictures of their hoo-has to you.
Yes. I know.
What is that about? And now this.
It's depressing.
No. Just go out and have sex.
And do it to it. Although, didn't you see the report that there is now a resurgence of syphilis, gonorrhea, and other STDs?
No. It's not gonorrhea.
It's not gonorrhea?
Some people think it's gonorrhea. It's not gonorrhea. It's super gonorrhea.
He wears a green suit, right? You just don't want to touch him. He said that suit's so sticky.
Gonorrhea's here. No. I'm super gonorrhea. Dun, dun, dun. Faster than a speeding bullet.
That would explain those billboards.
More powerful than a locomotive.
Spermicidal lubricant.
Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Super gonorrhea.
So you see,
a visitor from a strange planet.
They still have their hurdles to jump.
You know where super gonorrhea is from?
Where's that?
Uranus. Because it's another planet.
I see what you're saying.
It sounds like anus.
Right, it does.
And it's gonorrhea.
Yeah. And that's why they changed it to Uranus. Moving along, this may be why Bernie Sanders has apologized for 2016 campaign harassment allegations. At first, when I read that, what's the first thing you think of?
Harass.
No, Bernie doing it. Bernie Sanders has apologized to his female.
I got a block about that. Yeah, like put a block on your computer.
Right.
Yeah, I got a block about that, about Bernie having sex. It's there.
He wrote the book about the women want to be slapped around.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they do, but he's the one who wrote it.
You don't understand. They want to be slapped around and raped, and they want to be infected with super gonorrhea. You know him as Clark Bent.
He apologized to female staff members on his presidential campaign who alleged they were harassed by a male aide, as opposed to a marital aide.
No, very different.
Two women in our campaign, big difference, who were harassed or mistreated. I apologize, the Vermont Independent wrote in a statement on Twitter. Well, at least he apologized on Twitter. There's nothing that says, I mean this sincerely and from my heart, like sending a tweet.
I, Bernie J. Sanders, do apologize. I acted purely out of malice. I had no intention of actually hurting anybody.
I was never in malice.
Super gonorrhea is not part of my campaign moving forward.
Several aides complained of a predatory culture in his campaign.
It was a predatory culture that I had nothing to do with.
They read his book. Just saying.
Think about predatory culture from the guy who said women wants to be raped. Who would have thought it?
Comes as a shock to me. It's government shutdown day 20. How are we getting through this?
I'm getting through it with super gonorrhea.
This is the first payday, by the way, for federal workers with no pay. It's today. The 800,000 federal employees will get no checks. IRS employee Christy Kirkpatrick, that is, says she and her family, including 2 children, they're not eating out. They're not buying brand name foods. They're not getting drinks at the gas station. And her husband is working overtime in his job as a machinist to try to make up for her lost paycheck. She's an IRS employee, and my heart goes out to her. Mrs. Kirkpatrick,
let me think about that.
I am behind you 110%.
Yes, I am too. I am as well.
This sickens me.
Can we keep it at least until April 15th?
Maybe.
We've got to time morons. We've got to time these shutdowns. The debt ceiling argument always needs to happen late March.
Yeah.
Why?
Because then the IRS can't dig into your stuff.
Fewer people.
Her mortgage company, by the way, informed her that it won't let her skip a payment. And she still has daycare, even though her children aren't going, or she'll lose her spot to another family on the waiting list. At least the IRS gives you some time, and they're gentle about the fees they charge you. I mean, good grief. By the way, it was the TSA lying to us. Remember, we had to choose between, strangely,
CNN or the TSA? Government or CNN?
CNN turned out to be the truth teller. That's a strange one. TSA agents sick outs amid government shutdown are now forcing Miami Airport to cut back on terminal service. Hundreds of agents are calling in sick, and especially at Miami International.
How do we know that's true?
Well, they're going to close down one of the airport's 6 terminals, Terminal G.
How do we know that's true?
Because they said it.
Who's they?
TSA is now saying that enough people are calling in sick that they are having to close down a terminal.
Doesn't mean it's the government thing. And that's only in Miami.
It could be super gonorrhea. It is Miami, actually. So I see what you're saying here. I see what you're saying. So these people, are you saying TSA agents have better sex? Because that's the conclusion I'm drawing. I'm just saying they're out there doing the nasty. They're bumping uglies, and they're having a good time.
Sir, we didn't find anything in your luggage. You're free to go. We did find super gonorrhea, though.
And we kept it.
Why don't we just do that? Why don't we combine going through TSA with the medical checkup? They're already in there.
They already give you an anal exam.
Exactly.
What do you want?
Why not just, we found a polyp. It's around your belt line.
They had to have 4 other agents checked. Does this feel like a lump?
Yeah.
She got a surprise teddy bear inside.
Inside of?
Let me rephrase that. She got a teddy bear with an unexpected surprise inside. That makes more sense.
It's got to be drugs.
No.
Got to be the butt bob.
Human remains.
Oh, well.
Yes, her Secret Santa gave her, and she lives right here in Texas. Rocky Desai received the soft toy for Christmas.
That's not Rocky with an I.
No, that is not. She found a small little sticker on it that said the Neptune Society, and what felt like stones and sand inside the teddy bear. Turned out
What is the Neptune Society?
That happens to be one of those places that will cremate you and dump your ashes at sea. Turns out she had somebody in her teddy bear. That's got to be a weird feeling.
Wouldn't it be great?
Are there people who actually have their relatives
must.
cremated and put in teddy bears?
They must.
At least one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a business idea. Tell me people wouldn't buy it so they can.
No, they would buy it.
Because who wants to see the urn? But I would hug the teddy bear. It reminds me of Mom.
What do you want to be inside of when you die, Ron?
He doesn't care. He'll be dead.
How do you know?
I'm sorry, Brad. What do you call it? How do you say it?
Those records.
Those records are sealed.
Someday he'll be a grown-up broadcaster, and won't we be sad when he leaves the nest?
I know, right? Ron, have you seen the people that make their loved ones or pets into jewelry?
I can see that. I think using the cremate after they cremated.
They put that carbon
that thing where
under
they burn
pressure
you
and
up.
heat, and they essentially make
a diamond
out of it.
Right. Those people aren't as crazy as the taxidermy people.
Oh, that stuff mom and dad?
Yes.
Who hasn't stuffed
Ron is really freaked out about that.
I am freaked out about that. Have you seen the pictures
He was so
online?
freaked out, even the wonky eye opened.
That's a miracle.
I know. It's like, whoa. Yeah, that's you wouldn't do that though. How about a pet?
I don't know. That would kind of freak me out.
Yeah. I don't
What? Having it as a?
Yeah, having it as a stuffed animal sitting around the house.
There are. There are 2 boxes of pets sitting around my house.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I have a pet in a box at my house too.
Why? Why do you keep them?
You keep yours?
No, I don't keep mine.
Yeah, I've got her.
Why?
Like the
I just
ashes?
do. Yeah.
My sister stayed in a box for years with my mom and dad. I never got that, and it was always weird to shake the box.
You're not supposed to touch the box.
Why?
Just put it on the shelf over there.
It's ash, and it sounds like rocks in there too. It sounds like you're shaking sand and rocks.
You want to tell Ron about the skull?
Oh, what?
Which skull?
When you're cremated?
Oh yeah, when they cremate you, they put you into the fire pit.
Your bones are left.
Yeah,
Some of your bones.
they come
your
out.
bones are
Then they put you in a mortar and pestle or a blender.
And
You grind it up.
Boom.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
They put you in the vitamin Vegemin and grind you up and pour you back out into the little urn or the teddy bear in this
when
case.
they gave me the dog back, I opened of course, because of morbid curiosity, I opened the bag to look at it, and I'm like, man, there's big chunks in here.
What'd you expect?
Like some consistency. Like fine powder.
Like
it is.
Teeth.
Most
if you
of
look
it's
close
fine
enough, you'll
powder.
find teeth.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Well, I'll look at the bone.
Was
but
it
not the
sealed
teeth.
in a bag?
Sealed in a bag.
No, they just put a little zip tie on it.
A
too.
Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, in a nice box.
Wrapped in tissue paper.
At least it was the brand name and not that cheap, dollar store knockoff stuff. Coming up, our first Movie Pass Death Watch of 2019. But first, did you know you'll need $1,060,751 in savings if you expect to draw $5,000 a month for 30 years? That's assuming 6% annual return on your investment, 2% inflation.
You mean when I retire?
Yes. So if those numbers don't add up.
What you're saying to me is I'm going to be on welfare when I retire.
Pretty much. And living in that Kelvinator box under the bridge by the river. But you'll be able to fit.
Actually, I'm hoping I won't because I know Era Capital Management.
See, you're one of the smart ones.
EraCapitalManagement.com. Jacob and the team over there, if you contact them, they're going to tell you everything that they can do for you. And it basically starts with just being smart.
Are you holding that up? So why are you
so
holding
people can see it.
Okay.
You got a problem?
It's right there on the table, too.
But they can't see that one as well.
That's in the same distance.
Look, that one's a little closer.
You just keep going.
EraCapitalManagement.com. You go there today, and they will set you on the right path. If you've got any of these people out there that are giving you miracle, instant, get rich quick, contact me, and my program will give you 14 stock tips.
All you got to do is sell 14 boxes of soap to your friends.
Why wouldn't you just invest them yourself? I just want to help people. I'm giving these secrets away. Please.
They do their own dentistry, too.
Stupid. If anyone's telling you that, it's usually not a good idea. You need solid financial advice, which requires a consistent plan. And I say consistent because you can't run off on tangents with stuff. The market fluctuates and you get ups and downs and things change and things are more popular than others, and that's fine. That's why when you contact Era Capital Management, they'll lay the entire thing out. So you don't have to worry about it, but you know exactly how they're investing your money. And you don't have to worry, there's no money up front. Just call them for a consultation. They'll tell you what they can do for you. They make their money if you do well. Your portfolio at the end of the year does well. The dumbed down version is they'll make some money there. That's how it is.
No money up front, just a firm handshake.
Era Capital Management. Their phone number, of course, is
509
559 6264.
No, you were very, very close. Now, it's an easy to remember number. It's a 5 and an 0 and a 9 and a 5 and a 5 and a 9, then a 6 and a 2 and a 2 and a 9. So it's 509 559 6229 or
there it is.
50 95 59 62 29.
I'm really sorry I asked. EraCapitalManagement.com. Contact them today. EraCapitalManagement.com.
Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. Era Capital Management LLC provides fee-only portfolio management. The advisor may not transact business in states where it is not appropriately registered, excluded, or exempted from registration. I'm an idiot. Keep in mind, you didn't say that part. Keep in mind that investing involves risk. The value of your investment will fluctuate over time, may gain or lose money. No strategy can assure success and is not guaranteed. Call 50 95 59 62 29.
And Doc Thompson is hot.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not true either. Time for our first Movie Pass Death Watch of 2019. I thought you were pushing something there.
No, I was looking around.
Just checking. Movie Pass product manager has...
That one?
Just like in rehearsal. The Movie Pass product manager has quit in a company-wide email describing a perilous work environment. Eric Zheng.
It took him that long?
He's only been there for a year. He's only been there for a year. He didn't quit. He didn't go to HR. He didn't go to the CEO. He didn't hand in his letter of resignation. No.
I quit this bitch up in here.
He sent an email, a 704-word word email to all of the company's employees in which he wrote he could no longer in good conscience work for people who foster such a perilous work environment for their employees. He spoke of alleged inappropriate behavior by members of MoviePass leadership team and a toxic work environment. This is MoviePass, remember.
Ooh,
this
guy's going out with a bang.
I know, right? Exactly. That's what I'm like.
I can't imagine working at a company like that would
right?
have toxic leadership and a really toxic work environment. He said current and former MoviePass employees told Business Insider, the magazine, that the letter referred to alleged actions of MoviePass marketing consultant Bob Ellis. A consultant? He was behaving inappropriately? He was accused of inappropriate behavior towards women at the company.
You know how when they show the president and they'll do like a picture in the day he gets inaugurated, and then 4 years later they show the picture and he's aged like 60 years? That's like 1 year at MoviePass.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, it's apparently.
I bet if you looked at this guy's picture a year ago, he's young, whatever, and you look at him now and he's old.
He is old, and worn out. Speaking of the movies, here are your choices. Harrison Ford, Sam Jackson, or Tom Hanks. Which one of those has the highest U.S. box office earnings?
Go again.
Harrison Ford, Samuel L. Jackson, or Tom Hanks?
Harrison Ford, followed closely by Tom Hanks.
Harrison Ford has $4.96 billion in U.S. box office earnings. Tom Hanks, $4.6. Samuel L. Jackson tops the list with $5.76 billion in United States earnings.
For what?
Snakes on a Plane.
He's been in that and all.
That's what I was like.
And the Defenders movies. He played Nick Fury, too.
So, I guess that's it. He's on. Yeah, he's the Star Wars too.
Yeah,
that threw it off. Damn it, I wasn't thinking about Star Wars.
$13.3 billion worldwide is what he's done.
What was his name in Star Wars?
That was Randy.
That's exactly it.
I
didn't think you'd get it.
I'm kind of aficionado when it comes to that. Netflix has revealed a secret ending to their Black Mirror Bandersnatch movie. You haven't seen any.
Kurt Russell dies at the end.
Is that the one you were telling me about?
No, Black Mirror is a series. It's two seasons, and then they've come out with this movie where you get to choose what the character does along the way.
What?
So there's like
an interactive movie.
Yes, it's really cool. But they've also released a way, like a secret code that you can get a completely alternate ending. When you click on the family photo twice, you know what happens? I'm not going to tell you, but that's what you do. Try clicking the family photo twice if you're watching Bandersnatch. It's good. I like it. But these Grandpa and Grandpa 2 haven't seen it yet, so you'll be all right.
I'm trying to decide, Band or Snatch.
No, it's Bandersnatch. Bandur.
Sorry?
Not Bend and Snap. Bandersnatch.
Okay.
Coming up, Teddy Roosevelt did it, but first, studies show that smoking increases your risk for back pain. It's also shown to increase chronic pain in people with fibromyalgia and neck pain. You know, nicotine and cigarette smoke can decrease the blood flow to your joints in the back.
I never regularly smoked, and I have all kinds of decreased blood flow.
You smoke after sex?
I don't know. I never looked.
Hey-oh. Something else you can try? The relief factor.
Yeah, see, it's just frustrating. What are you talking?
Who took somebody stole our relief factor.
They snatched our factor?
No.
There it is. There's one. There's an errant one down the bottom shelf there.
And that's the problem. This stuff is like gold.
Right,
It is.
We were factor snatched.
I know. That's what I was saying. You got to
Careful how
factor
you
that
say
in.
that.
Keep it under lock and key, folks. People will be in here busting this. This is not the one we had in here.
No, it's
this
not.
Is someone else put another one in.
Dealing
Unless they got
with-
more in the
if
mail.
you're don't open that one. That's our only new one.
I need it for today.
Go to relieffactor.com if you're dealing with pain. This is it's non-narcotic. It's botanicals. It's omega-3s.
It's not the medicine.
It's not the tuma. Go to relieffactor.com and see if it works for you. Get the quick start pack for just $19.95. Relieffactor.com. It's Friday, January 11th. Mary J. Blige is 47 today. Alexander Hamilton would be 264 years old today.
He doesn't look above 10.
He really doesn't. Rebel is 19. Rebel does not. I'm stunned that Rebel's 19.
Rebel.
Yeah, YouTube star. More followers than you have. And
you so much.
Tay-Tay's Nummies is 13 today, which is kind of an odd
I'm
name
sorry,
for somebody.
who?
Tay-Tay's Nummies.
Tay-Tay's
Tay-Tay's
Nummies.
Nummies, 13. TikTok. TikTok,
Oh, wow.
TikTok.
I got to get on the TikTok.
1908, Roosevelt made it a national monument. What was it?
What year?
1908, the year of our Lord, 1908.
It wasn't Mount Rushmore.
No, it was not.
That was later.
Yes, it was. 1908. You were just a boy then.
I don't know. I'm actually drawing a blank.
The
on this
Grand Canyon.
That's a monument?
Really?
That's not a monument.
It is a monument. It's a monument. It's a giant hole. That's a
No,
monument.
it's not. If you want to say it's a national park, I'll give you. It's not a monument.
It's a national monument.
A monument has to be erected.
It's upside down.
This is
all.
stupid.
It's upside down. Those are your headlines.
Not everyone is unhappy about the government shutdown. That's especially true for one Democrat in Congress who's taking full advantage of it. Let me explain. Democratic Senator Kamala Harris appears that she couldn't be happier for the break. The Congresswoman from California, who was groomed during the Obama administration to become the country's future president, is using this time, at taxpayer expense of course, to hit the book tour trail. You see, while everyone else in Congress is making the sacrifice to do the right thing and endure the shutdown for as long as it takes without a paycheck, the highly paid Harris is rubbing elbows on liberal television shows like The View, Good Morning America, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. She'll also be jet-setting to events in Washington, New York, LA, and San Francisco before making her way back to her job she was elected to do in D.C., which includes issues about the border wall. Harris, however, isn't worried about the border wall. Her open border anti-ICE policies are no secret and are a slap in the face to every Angel family like Kate Steinle's and Officer Singh's who've lost a loved one due to an illegal immigrant being harbored within the Golden State. Once Harris returns from her It's All About Me book tour, she'll no doubt ease back into her nonstop jabs at President Trump instead of trying to fix the problems in California. Oh wait, what was I thinking? Harris's liberal policies are a big part of what's wrong with California and will be for the country if she ever fulfills her dream of becoming president. And that's today's reality check with Susan Knowles.
Hey, it's Brad Staggs with big news. MoJo 50 is coming to you and to your town. It's all part of our way of helping the veterans in this country. The MoJo 50/50 tour is 50 states in 50 days. And we're traveling across the country in a bus. I don't know what could go wrong. If you go to mojo5050tour.com, you can find all the details, including to tentative stops and how you can be a sponsor. MoJo 50/50 tour, mojo5050tour.com.
Thank God for American Pride Roasters coffee, seriously.
What flavor is this today?
I can't remember. Chocolate? It's a chocolate.
I was going to say there's chocolate. There's no raspberry in it, so it's not. It's not.
I didn't make this. This was from yesterday. I don't know who made it.
I'm drinking unknown coffee. I don't know.
We know it's American Pride Roasters.
I do not know who put their fingers in this.
Let me ask you, is it good?
Yes, it's very good.
Then it's American Pride Roasters.
There you go.
Done. What about you? Did you make coffee today?
I did not.
It's not a euphemism.
Okay.
Ron.
I actually stopped on the way.
Did you poop?
Excuse me? You what?
I stopped on the way.
You coffee trader. Right now.
No, I walked in and I said, "Do you have American Pride Roasters coffee?" They said, "Sure." So I got some.
Right this second, somewhere outside of Des Moines, a man is weeping gently to himself in his garage shack roastery. DM is going,
I'm sorry, DM.
I hope you feel good about yourself.
I love you, brother.
No, honey, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. This is why you never trust.
You're gonna be responsible for the domestic violence. As he starts crying and he goes, I said I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. Right now, the police are being called.
Yeah.
The house is on fire. Shots fired. The neighbors are there. It's bedlam.
Hope
All
you're
because
happy.
you. Thanks,
I
Ron.
hope
Thanks
you're
a lot.
happy, Ron.
The rest of us drink our American Pride Roasters coffee because it's fantastic. Ron, though, is out there,
Yeah.
whatever he's doing.
Look at him. Just look at him.
It's the official coffee of MoJo 50, but not Ron Phillips.
Sad, really. It's sad.
Ron's like, just stop it.
It's sad.
Try American Pride Roasters coffee today at AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
These are the great stories we didn't get to earlier in the week, so we will get to them now. You see him look when I just said that one word?
I was like, I started to panic. I'm like, you said and then everything froze. And oh, hell, what stopped?
It's always said just a bit different. Anyway, moving on. Prison staff in Martin County, Florida, noticed something odd. This is the staff at a prison.
In Florida.
Noticed something very odd. A drone making a delivery to a prison inmate out in the yard.
Don't think that's allowed, is it?
No, it's not. It's absolutely
Could be
not.
a problem.
So the staff saw the drone and said, somebody's flying that drone. It's not from inside. Let's call the Popo. Popo arrived and saw 40-year-old Cassandra Kerr and 22-year-old Cassandra Diata operating the drone just outside of the prison.
Aha! Women.
Yeah. The drone was delivering tobacco products, cell phones, possibly other things to Kerr's husband, who is an inmate in the Martin County, Florida Detention Center.
She likes bad boys.
I'm just going to get right to our pro-criminal tip. Pro-criminal tip number 4413. Prison guards do have the ability to look up. The point being, what makes you think you're going to fly a drone in?
Right.
The other prisoners won't see it.
No.
Just the one you're flying it to. The guards won't see it. Nobody else. Just the one person.
Here's the thing. I own a drone.
Right.
They're not silent. No. It's not like it's a fluff of air. I mean,
that's why prisoners dig tunnels and don't jump over fences.
Yeah, you don't have the stealth bomber drone. You don't have that one.
If it took that's
I mean, what makes you think I'll just fly this drone in there? Every other prisoner's like, here comes a drone.
It's the heat.
And it wasn't like one staffer. It wasn't like when the staffer okay. It's not like the staffer was like walking back. Okay, he's down at the other end. Quick, loan the drone.
That's right.
No. If they had said, we're going to fly the drone really high and then we'll drop it, if there was the ability to do that.
A chance they might not see it when it hits the ground. But
They just flew that some gun right down in there.
Are you trying to say she's not a smart woman?
No, I'm saying neither of them are very smart. Both of them very dumb. So, yes, just remember, if you're in prison, guards can, in fact, pivot their head backwards and look up.
Yeah, that's a little known fact, and I'm surprised that you're so hard on her.
I have a very sad story. And I want to caution Brad and also Ron. This is a sad story. Please treat this story with the appropriate amount of respect.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. Just
all right.
When you hear the story, determine what is the appropriate amount of respect and go from there.
Okay.
A man in Sri Lanka was recently killed by an elephant.
It's horrible.
I think that's the second cause of death
in Sri Lanka.
Death by elephant.
You wouldn't think
that's tough.
It also is for Roseanne's husbands. Hey-ho. Okay, back up. This is a sad story. Man in Sri Lanka killed by an elephant. He was trampled to death after he tried to hypnotize the elephant.
Look into my eyes.
People just get confused when you say that, Ron.
Video footage shows the man walking up to the male elephant, which was grazing in a forest clearing all by himself.
He's got to watch.
And says, "You're under my spell." He gestures at first to get the elephant's attention. And the elephant immediately began charging him. He still attempted to hypnotize the elephant, still standing his ground as the elephant charged. I can make this work.
You're under my spell. You're under my spell. Look at my watch. Look at my watch.
When the elephant didn't stop and it got really close to him, he realized, I'm not going to be able to hypnotize this elephant.
Damn it, this is not working.
And he attempted to flee right up until the elephant stepped on him. And he was trampled to death.
You know, does the watch still work?
I would say this. If you're going to attempt to hypnotize an elephant, maybe you start with one in the zoo.
I just, I would think so.
I mean unless you are, in fact...
seems like good advice.
Unless you are, in fact, manimal.
Right.
You've got to go ahead and practice.
Yes.
You don't start with the wild male elephant.
No, you really don't. You have to work your way up to it. And you know what they say is just if you just run in a zigzag, you can...
serpentine.
Yes, if you do that, because it's... No, that's an alligator.
I know what you do. You just play dead.
That's a great idea.
Oh, no, that's bears.
No,
that's bears.
That's not it either. How about...
I know what it is.
What?
Don't be a dumbass.
That could be. That works.
Approach a male elephant.
You know, it's amazing. That works like
a
abstinence.
lot of them. Yeah. You don't have to be manimal for that.
No, you really don't. You just have to not be an
Is that
idiot.
the show Manimal where the guy...
I think, yeah. The man. What did he turn into?
I think any of them.
Wow.
I think so.
It'd be kind of fun.
A 35-year-old man tried to rob a San Diego County bank. And by tried, I mean he went into the bank, stripped, and waited for the cops to arrive.
He tried really hard, didn't he?
That's a bellworthy. Yes, he tried to rob a bank by going in it and stripping. Last week, Clint Gray went into the Wells Fargo branch in Solana Beach, shouted that it was a robbery, and everyone get to the ground. As staff and customers complied, he took out his phone, and then when it wasn't working, ordered them to call 911. That's when he began stripping to his underwear, sat in a chair near the front door until the deputies arrived.
Well, it's Wells Fargo, so they already had his shirt.
There is that.
You might as well give him his pants, too.
Authorities say that he had no weapon and no cash was taken. He was arrested.
He's going to get 3 hots in a cot now.
Now, you may wonder or speculate if alcohol was a factor.
I wonder if alcohol was a factor.
I don't know, but I know cray-cray was a factor, which I think now has to be included in stories.
Yes. Here's the thing, though. It's Wells Fargo, and remember the guy who flew into the IRS building? I can't condone it, but I understand it.
Was that a Wells Fargo guy?
No, but I can understand it. I mean, Wells Fargo. Just saying.
So, my AT&T is your Wells Fargo?
Yes.
Okay.
Wells Fargo and B of A. They can both.
Oh, Bank of America?
They can go suck an egg.
Horrible.
Yes.
Crazy right-wing or left-wing nutcases.
Yes.
Did I show you the little hand fans?
That thing you do with your hand? Yes.
Are those called fans? Hand fans? Is that what they are?
Hand fans?
Like little paper fans you can make.
Okay. What about them?
I feel like there should be another name. Last summer, I'm walking downtown Fort Worth. I think it was. Wife and I were down seeing the sights, whatever, and notice a whole bunch of these little hand fans on a stick, like a tongue depressor.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Apparently, there had been an LGBTQ LMNOP march, rally, something. By that, I mean anti-Trump gathering. And they had the little hand fans that were handed out, and people just tossed them aside when they were done. They were sponsored by Bank of America. Rainbow logo.
I think I brought you that from New York. I think I was in New York and they were doing that.
Maybe they did it there too, but I have a picture of the ones that I found.
Yeah. It was mine. You just stole it.
I found it. Shut up. 31-year-old Elizabeth Wilson went to court to appear on drug charges. and she took with her to court a bag full of drugs.
You know, at first blush, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
No, it's not. Even at second blush. She went to, I got to go face these drug charges, go to court and answer for my crimes, my wallet, my keys, bag of drugs.
Your Honor, I have a bag of evidence.
I don't think it works that way.
Was the first thing she said, that's not mine?
That's... Yeah, maybe you do it as a dramatic. I was going to use that as dramatic prop. If this is the type of filth you're accusing me of peddling,
you're wrong.
I want no part of it.
Yeah.
You know, you're in possession.
Oh, sorry.
It's a prop, Your Honor. It's a prop. So she went to the village's mayor's court in Stark County, Ohio, to answer drug charges and took a backpack with meth. And, and ecstasy.
Okay.
Marijuana. A bunch of other pills. And then something just listed as other drugs.
Oh, have you ever had that other drug?
I have not.
Oh, it's fabulous.
What is that? Is that crocodile?
You get to watch the walls breathe.
She also had paraphernalia used to consume those drugs. All in a big backpack. She was arrested.
You didn't expect her to show up for court sober, for God's sake. You've been to court?
I have.
It's hard to be there sober.
It is, yeah. That's a lot, though.
That's
Maybe she thought she was going to go to jail and she needed a supply while she was in there.
Like when you're on meth, you just can't leave your personal belongings just sitting anywhere.
Yeah, no kidding.
You have to take them with you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the shock in her face when she was like, what?
Why can't I? Maybe she, you know what? And this is what's wrong with this country, this war on entrepreneurs. She was just looking for new clients.
And what better place?
Exactly.
Than court.
Exactly.
And I don't mean the people going to court. I mean the prosecutors.
There you go.
Attorneys. Yeah.
I agree.
A drunk, half-naked man went into McDonald's at 5 a.m.
Damn it, Ron.
They caught me.
Took off his pants.
Damn it, Ron.
And began performing what they described as a helicopter-like maneuver with his penis in front of the customers and staff.
That's Ron. That's Ron.
Please. He's not able to do that.
It's a miniature helicopter.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's like a toy.
It's like a drone.
It's like
That's what it is.
It's like his
he did a drone maneuver. That's what it was.
And let me tell you, those drones, they're not silent.
You know, some people say they're silent. They're not silent.
Some people say that. That's not true.
No.
We also know who this wasn't.
Who wasn't it?
Your friend from Chicago.
Oh, what? Yeah, no, it was not Izzo.
You don't think so?
No, he wouldn't have been able to do it either.
The helicopter-like maneuver?
No.
So it's 5 a.m. He's drunk, half naked, goes in McDonald's, takes off his pants, begins performing the helicopter-like maneuver with his penis in front of the customers and staff. A witness said 29-year-old Ryan Dolan first grabbed his junk and began playing with it, then pretended to serve customers. You want that sausage McMuffin?
Server service.
Eventually, he started the helicopter-like gyration.
Come on, who hasn't done that?
He went on, they said, for several minutes before he pulled up his pants and left. Cops were called and recognized him from the surveillance footage, because there is video. And they also recognized him from the previous incidents where he's had similar offenses.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Apparently. There's something. By the way, Ron, that's the wrong move. That's the flip-flop. You're missing the helicopter. The helicopter goes round and round.
I got you.
Yeah, it takes a while. You got to build up to it. It doesn't start off. I mean, think of a helicopter blade.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get up to full speed right off. There it is. That's working. There you go.
That's it.
He pleaded guilty, and this is over in the UK, and was fined 500 pounds.
Oh, gosh.
Wait. What do you do if you're one of the customers sitting there when that happens?
Pull out your cell phone and start taking.
Okay.
Oh, I'm videoing the hell
at that moment.
Yes.
You go for the cash register. Or at least a sandwich. Everyone's distracted. Right?
Brad's going to whip out his phone.
Right, makes that money.
Yes.
I'm going to get us lunch. He's going to get the video footage. Everybody
we're
wins.
Selling it to TMZ.
Right, exactly.
And then we're out of this bitch.
We quit this bitch. That's right. What'd you get? A Big Mac, a couple of sausage McMuffins.
Got a video of a swinging penis. And now, welcome to the stage, the swinging peni.
Helicopter Jim. 33-year-old Crystal Mostek allegedly walked into a convenience store in Virginia Beach, placed a device on the counter, told the store employee it was a bomb, and threatened to blow up the store.
It's a bomb.
It is a bomb.
It is a bomb.
She was not hard to track down. What with the face tattoo. Face tattoos. The device was later determined not to be a bomb. She was charged with threatening to blow up or damage a building, possession of a hoax explosive device. At her arraignment, she claimed she was not guilty and the charges were an outrage.
I am offended.
She has now since pleaded guilty once she saw the video footage and awaits sentencing. See, you're a little easier to identify when you have multiple face tattoos.
They're hard to remove.
And if you know somebody with a face tattoo, that's a cry for help right there. That's the intervention. Yeah. If you already haven't had the intervention, that's the intervention moment.
Proof in the pudding is Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's go with it. Just Google face tattoo.
Yeah.
Ain't none of them like, well, okay, I could see. All of them, you're like,
no, it's a cry for
wow,
help.
that bitch be crazy.
It's a cry for help. Yeah, big time.
You're just waiting for me to move on. I'm
no,
waiting.
No, I'm not. I'm
no, I'm just. You're not asking.
Was she hot? I mean, that's an obvious question. I was hoping that you would. No, my God, no. Wow.
I just tweeted out a picture of it.
Holy shnikes.
Ron.
That.
From here, she looks like the Joker.
Damn, she's uglier than Ron.
Yeah.
Wow.
A
That's
lot.
hard to do.
Yep.
That is hard to do. Wow. That is.
I don't think she was going for Joker.
No. Boy, those are like.
She's got one on her right cheek. I don't even know what it is. Could be a cougar or something. I don't know. She's got the Joker like lines from the corner of her mouth. She's got I'm guessing maybe teardrops coming down one side. She's got like an Indian type dot in the forehead.
Yeah, that's.
And what is that over there?
Never let Helen Keller give you a tattoo.
Right, that's what it looks like. So
very bad.
They will never recognize me.
No.
Right, you're on camera. I can pull this out.
No bell.
Sorry. So I tweeted a picture for you people in MeWe chat room that were asking, is she hot? The answer is no.
Yeah. No.
But check it out for yourself. I tweeted a picture. Maybe you could post it in their chat room as well.
Yes, that'll be good fodder for them.
You know what? Tattoo artists should have a standing policy.
All right. What's that?
That when you come in and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo. I'm just thinking about a tattoo.
Right.
Don't know what to get, but I know where I want to get it. Somewhere on my face.
And their
policy should be, okay, great. Go ahead and figure out what you want. Call the police. Call the police.
It's a preemptive strike.
Now, the nice thing about face tattoos.
Oh, I can't wait.
The nice thing is you don't have to guess crazy.
No, that's a good point.
Like sometimes you're like, I think this person might be crazy.
Yeah.
When they walk up with face tattoo, you go, oh, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It does save you a lot of time.
It's kind of a, it's a banner.
But she's so far over the line, she's not even the type that you want to date once. I mean, she in the crazy hot zone? No.
Well, all we saw was her face. You didn't see her body.
I didn't need to.
What do you
Didn't
mean?
need to. Nope. I'm pretty sure there was nothing down there.
Your mind can.
There
fill
was
in the
nothing
blank.
below that neck that balanced out the deficit caused by the face.
Yeah, when you look at her, you do think blue waffle.
Don't Google that.
Do not do that.
Do not Google that.
Did I tell you about Chef Patrick the other day?
Did he Google it?
No. Did I tell you what I did?
What?
What'd he do? Or what you do?
So I was leaving the other day to go to the doctor.
The doctor.
Head to the doctor. And I went by, Chef Patrick was set up in the conference room working on the computer. And I went past it, saw the computer, and he hadn't been in there. He was helped building the new Spoonie studio. So I went past it, and right as before I left for the doctor, I simply went to the internet.
He left his computer open.
Yes.
Oh.
And I Googled something and then left the images up.
Oh, no.
I didn't screen grab. I just left them open, and then I left. By the time he got back to the computer, the screensaver dark was on, so he hits the button, and there's what I Googled.
Was it worse than blue waffle?
I simply Googled infected penis.
Oh, man.
I didn't know what I would get, but I knew it wouldn't be good. And guess what? So I was like this. Chef Patrick's computer. I put my hands on the keys and went, infected penis. I get a text like an hour later. Son of I was like, what? What do you mean?
I don't know who did it.
45-year-old man was arrested in New Orleans for spray painting the word cocaine in several locations on Bourbon Street while wearing a shirt and a hat that said cocaine.
Okay. Why? I mean...
No, Your Honor. I don't like cocaine. I don't use it. I just like the way it smells.
Sales were slow that day. Marketing a little bit. What's wrong with that?
Only I knew where to get cocaine around here. That guy over there has it on his shirt and his hat and is spray painting it around town.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Again, entrepreneurial spirit.
Good for him.
You got to advertise.
Cameras recorded Sean Harrington spray painting a bunch of spots, including on the doors of a historic building and the side of a curb and garbage cans. Just all around town, cocaine.
Well, high and low, you got to get the people. Where are the people most likely to be?
Fish where the fish are.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's just saying. At least he wasn't peeing in the street.
A Phoenix woman is accused of stalking a man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you decide if it reached the level of stalking. Because you throw this around, and there is admittedly a fine line between appreciating somebody and stalking. A fine line between following and stalking, right?
It is not stalking if you really want to meet them.
Want to meet them.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a great point.
Totally different.
I'll let you guys decide. She met him on a dating site. They went out on a singular date, and then she sent him some text messages. 159,000 of them.
Holy. Whoa.
Over 10 months. 159. Yeah, I already did the math.
Okay. Save me some time.
That's an average of, over 10 months, 530 per day. That's one every 3 minutes if it were 24/7.
Are you saying she overdid it?
If she was awake every minute for 10 months, that would average out to a text every 3 minutes. And if you say, okay, sleep about an average of 8 hours or something, that's a text like every 2 minutes?
She needs a better hobby.
I don't even know what you would put. So, is that stalking? You on the fence about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's content. It's
context
and content of the text.
Well, you remember talking about cray, right?
Well, I do have a little more information.
What if she's smoking hot and rich?
She was not.
Okay, then we're crossing over into stalking.
Well, there's a little more. So the 159 text over 10 months isn't enough. One night he found her outside his home and he called the police and she followed up with a text, go figure, that said, I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopstick out of your hand bones. Again, I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones.
No, it was like this, Doc. I'd send, make, send.
I don't know. I-D space make.
Well, when you do it that way, it's creepy.
Right.
Yeah.
So how about now? Is that?
She might be.
You still on the fence a little?
Again, if she's not hot, not rich. So now I think we crossed over.
She was also arrested on a different occasion inside his home when he was out of town.
She could be a problem in the future.
Maybe. Do you realize the big failure here, and there may be some Bravo Sierra going on? Averaging a text every 3 minutes, 24/7.
She'd have no time to do anything else.
There's a failure on the other end.
Yeah, why would you receive that many?
Why would you? How long do you receive a text every 3 minutes before you say, I'm just changing my number?
Or just blocking.
Well, you could block it or mute it.
Or block it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy's got a little cray-cray in him, too.
Or something else going on,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
They originally thought it was 65,000 texts, but it turns out it was 159. That seems like a lot to me.
It does seem excessive, and it does seem like she would have time for little else, including personal hygiene.
Police responded to a trespassing report and encountered the suspect. He had multiple stolen items on him. His fingerprints were at the burglary scene. His shoe tread matched marks left on the home's yard and on the garage door, which was kicked in. When cops questioned him, he said that he didn't commit the crime. He did not burglarize the place or steal the items. Again, he had the items on him. His fingerprints were at the scene, shoe treads in the yard and on the garage door, but he didn't do it, and he can prove it.
Okay.
Because he was high on methamphetamine at the time, and he doesn't normally burglarize or steal on days when he's on meth.
He makes the best decision.
If you're on the jury, guys,
right?
How are you ruling on this?
He's honest.
Right.
If he has an honest face,
Look,
I'm siding
He told
with
you
him.
he does meth, so he's got to be honest, right?
Right. Listen, Your Honor, I remember that day specifically because I was trying to claw the bugs out of my skin.
Right.
I hadn't slept for 3 or 4 days. My teeth were rotting in my head. I was on meth, and I don't burglarize or steal the days I'm on meth. It's a strict code I live by.
Exactly. You're not calling him a liar, are you?
He was arrested on multiple counts of theft.
Wow.
And drug possession.
Wow.
And possessing fraudulent credit cards.
How else you going to buy the meth?
Right? So
you don't want to spend your own money on the meth.
No, not at all.
OPM, baby.
You got to, as a cop, you just got to love those days. You know what this is like? I got to imagine when a cop encounters this, it's like a day I come in and start looking at the news stories before I go on and realize Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has made a quote or a statement. You're like, well, today's going to be an easy day at work.
Yep, it's going to be simple. She's hot, though.
Spring Grove, Pennsylvania police have arrested a wanted fugitive out of Baltimore.
Try that again.
Should I start that? Edit that out. I don't want anyone to hear that. I'm a little embarrassed.
3, 2, go.
Spring Grove, Pennsylvania police have arrested a wanted fugitive out of Baltimore. 21-year-old Anthony Doo-Doo Butt was apprehended on North Pine Avenue.
That is not his name.
That's his nickname.
Doo-Doo Butt.
Doo-Doo Butt. Doo-Doo Butt was...
Is that a verb or a noun?
I'm not sure.
Makes a big difference.
Doo-Doo Butt was wanted for attempted first-degree murder for his involvement in a road rage style shooting earlier in the year. Now, I'm not sure why his name is Doo-Doo Butt.
He was an 80s breakdancer.
Is that what? You know how he started? He bought the Alfonso breaking board and rap sheet. Learned how to break dance.
He had aspirations. He had goals.
I don't know if he gave himself the name Doo-Doo Butt. I don't know if somebody else gave him the name
Why
Doo-Doo
would
Butt.
you give yourself the name Doo-Doo Butt?
Maybe you think, why would you give yourself some of these
I
other
promise
crazy
his
rap
mama
names?
gave that to him.
Maybe.
Doo-Doo Butt.
But here's what I do know about the nickname Doo-Doo Butt. It's not going to serve him well in prison.
Oh, no.
Right?
Not at all.
What's your nickname? Killer. How about you? This is Doo-Doo Butt, sir.
You better hope he's a badass.
Let me heat this piece of metal.
You're going to enjoy this.
That's your Friday leftovers.
A free exchange of ideas. MoJo 50. This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. She was the subject of an intense 3-month search, generated thousands of tips. Wisconsin teen Jamie Kloss has been found alive.
The 13-year-old went missing October 15th, the day both of her parents were shot and killed at their home. She was found Thursday in Douglas County, some 70 miles away. A suspect is in custody.
Correspondent Tim McGuire. Barron, Wisconsin Mayor Ron Fleden says finding Jamie alive is an answer to prayer.
We've been praying daily for a long time now that we'd have Jamie return safely to our community, and I guess you can tell by the emotion in my voice, this is really a big deal.
He spoke with KSTP-TV. In his drive for a border wall, President Trump says he has the facts and logic on his side.
The Democrats' position of no barrier, no wall is indefensible. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen more and more because it's common sense.
The president raising the possibility of declaring a national emergency in order to jumpstart wall construction if Democrats refuse to budge on the issue that's prompted the partial government shutdown, which is now in its 21st day. The United States has begun the process of shifting troops out of Syria.
Colonel Sean Ryan, spokesman for the coalition fighting the Islamic State group, said the U.S. started the process of our deliberate withdrawal from Syria. He declined to comment on specific timetables or movements. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the withdrawal began Thursday night.
Correspondent Aria Shackley. We expect a lower open in about a half hour on Wall Street. Futures in the red. Dow futures down 71 points, and S&P futures are off 9 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey guys, Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out WeThePeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
One man. This is Stephen Airy with Defenders Live. One desire. Is that a Pablo Francisco skit? That reference is as old as Brad Stagg's. All right, fine. Let's get it over with. I thought you might see it my way. He's here to give a defense of American exceptionalism. Arm yourselves, America. It's time for some offensive defense. Starring B-Rate Tom Cruise. Dude, I said that my name in the beginning. Pay attention. In an hour-long epic for the minds of this generation. Do not miss this. Defenders Live on MoJo 50. 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Live free. Yeah, what he said. MoJo 50, Defenders Live, 9 p.m. Monday through Friday.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
Funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone, RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
It also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com, RIDUzone.com. I am speculating that lots of people have learned lots of things. You can get them in via the communication, via the social media websites. MeWe, Facebook, Twitter. Brad will share those communiques now.
Polish American Jackhole learned, I thought doo-doo butt was Ron's nickname for not drinking. Maybe. Possibly.
What he does on his time.
As long as we get the pictures of it later, we're fine. Larky Farkin says, how much butt could doo-doo butt if doo-doo butt did do butt?
Once again, hit it again. You didn't do that very well. Go.
I think it was the right.
Go ahead, try it again.
How much butt could doo-doo butt if doo-doo butt?
No, you're going to start again.
How much butt
could doo-doo butt if
doo-doo
butt could do butt?
There's an extra
you guys
do
keep
in there.
pausing. Go.
How much butt could doo-doo butt do if doo-doo butt did do butt?
There you go.
There it is.
It's the writing. We need new writers.
Ron, go. You got to try this. Go. Go.
Yeah.
How much butt could doo-doo butt do if doo-doo butt could do butt?
You're so close. So close.
How much butt could doo-doo butt do if doo-doo butt could do butt?
There it is. Done.
Wow, that's your standard. That's your standard of excellence right there.
That was it. I'm just saying he did it.
Wow. Okay. Doo-doo butt's popular. Steel barrier saddle tramp. Old doo-doo pants needs to get into the reliable adult diaper business. And it's doo-doo butt, not doo-doo pants. Let's see here. Was doo-doo butt in the same gang as butt juice? That's Bang 97, the future of sleeve. And what is the... I want to know who changed.
I just wonder if that was, like you said, gave it to him name. That sounds like something like one of those stupid rap names.
You're not going to have a lot of street cred with the name doo-doo butt.
Because, but there are a lot of rap names that are dumb. Or street names.
A lot?
Not, well, most of them are. Some of them sound like they're making an attempt at being cool.
Oh, Wizzy.
Okay, maybe not.
Wizzy.
I told you, my wife worked at a law firm when she and I met. She was working at a radio station. That's where I met her. But she also worked at a law firm, like kind of clerking. And I've told you the story about the woman who used to come in and tell about all of her sexploits. And then she told her she was worse than white when she didn't want to hear it. Okay. Girl who happened to be black told my wife, who is Asian,
Worse than white.
you're worse than white. She said,
Your wife's Asian?
Apparently.
That's the first I've heard.
I know, right?
Of that.
I say it for people that are new to the program, Matlock.
Oh, okay.
Matlock coming up for some reason an hour from right now.
If it's not us coming up in an hour.
That's right.
Which
because we may be coming up in an hour if you're listening to the replay.
Yes.
And then Matlock will be coming up in 4 hours.
Right.
Unless you're listening on the weekend and the schedule's thrown off altogether.
Yeah. Check your local.
So my wife's working in a law firm. And a woman who happens to be black come in every day and she'd tell about these sexploits. Young woman coming in, I picked up this guy and we did this, and then I gave him an old fashioned in the car. And I mean, in graphic detail. And my wife is like, she'd tell me, I don't want to hear this stuff. And I'd say, just tell her in a nice way. And if she goes, I walk away, and she just follows me. So finally she said one day, she's like, hey, listen, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear all the details. And the woman lost her crap. She went nuts. And she, hey, telling me, blah, blah, blah. And then she finally goes, you're worse than white.
That's just funny.
Now, I didn't get a clarification because I don't know the woman. I don't know if she's saying all Asians are worse than white.
Right, or just
or my wife. So when anything comes up about me being white, I'm like, well, you're worse than white. Well, anyways, this same woman would had two suitors, beaux. One of them was Butta. His name was Butta. That was his nickname.
Okay, Butta.
Right, not Butter.
Right, Butta.
Butta.
Yeah.
And you know why his name was Butta? Because he's smooth.
He's smooth.
He's smooth like butter.
That's not a bad. Okay, call me Butter because I'm smooth.
And the other one was cheesecake.
I'm going to have to work a little harder to understand that one.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Who doesn't like New York style cheesecake? You go to the Cheesecake Factory?
Gotcha. Right. He's smooth like cheesecake. Sorry. Cheesecake. Hello.
Cheesecake.
Hello, 50.
Right. Hello, Mr. Cheesecake. Will your friend Butter be joining us? Margarine was in here yesterday, and I can't believe it's not Butter was in this morning.
Mr. Butter. Hello, Mr. Cheesecake.
Mr. Cake? Can I call you Chi?
Party of two? Will you and Mr. Butter be dining alone?
My wife, she goes, she told me about the men she's cheesecake and butter. She just rolls her eyes. And I was like, butter? You know, because he's smooth like butter. And I was like, oh my. And she's like, yeah. Yeah.
You really are worse than white.
Really?
Butter. Why do we just sound stupid when we say it?
Because it's dumb.
No.
Everybody sounds stupid when they say it.
No, there are some people who can make that sound cool.
No.
My name is Butter.
No, I will give you the brothers can wear yellow and green suits and stuff, red suits, and look dope. Do people still say dope?
I
and
think
look fly.
That is sick.
Sick. Look sick.
They look sick.
They look great.
Yes.
Amazing. I wish I could do it.
I know.
I wear yellow. It looks like I have liver damage.
I'm always jealous of Lawrence Jones. I know he can look sharp in
I
those
wear yellow.
bright colors.
It looks like I missed my dialysis appointment. That's what it looks like.
You look like a warm pitcher of piss.
Have you been out sick or something? No. Decided to wear mustard today.
I'm just styling.
So I'll give you that, but I'm sorry, you still sound kind of stupid when you're saying your name is Butter. I do like the fact that we've gotten beyond MC everything.
That's true.
MC this, MC that.
Butter. What up, Butter?
Yeah, so, and then, do you remember me telling you the rapper that I work for a company, and the CEO, such a tool. Anyway, he had run some stations down south. Might have been Savannah. I don't remember. But he told me the story that one of the stations they ran was a young hip-hop station.
Right.
And actually, I wonder if people know this. When in the both old and young black communities,
right,
they've had their own kind of underground entertainment circuit for years where you go out to you go to the radio station, whatever. They promote themselves. Rappers did for years. And even back in the day, I mean, all the way back to the 50s now with doo-wop and stuff, because it was kind of underground because they weren't allowed to play in other clubs.
Right.
So if you have a black radio station, there are always people coming in to promote local concerts and stuff.
Yep.
It's not like that in top 40. You may get a couple of those, but it's usually bigger names.
Yeah.
But every bar and whatever, somebody's appearing, and this person, it's very odd. So there's always a parade of people coming in and out. Rappers, this is a young hip-hop station, in and out. And one night, late night, they were parading in and out for the night show, and a rapper got shot. And killed in the lobby.
That's not good publicity.
Right in the front door.
Wow, that's painful too.
It's better than the back door.
That's true.
That's
a good point.
Shot and murdered. And he's telling me, he goes, you have no idea the amount of paperwork when somebody gets shot on your property. He goes, he was almost out the door. Another 10 feet, he would have been off our property right there. That's all it would have taken.
The paperwork.
He goes, I was considering dragging him over to the sidewalk. He goes, I'm still filling out paperwork. I don't even work there anymore.
If it wasn't for the profuse bleeding.
Now, this guy's name, the guy that got shot, the guy that was gunned down. Camouflage.
Wow.
Fail.
Wow.
Fail.
Big time.
Sorry, Camouflage. We've decided by executive committee we're changing your name to Target.
Yo, you can't see me. I'm just boom.
Bow.
Damn.
Damn it. Damn it.
His last words.
Damn it. Damn it. He's laying there. He's on the ground and he goes, shit.
Mama told me to be an accountant.
Oh
man,
those are the names. I'm just saying,
it's still better than doo-doo butt.
Yes, it is.
It's still better.
Yeah, Camouflage is looking down right now, going, "Those mofo's mocking me." Still better than doo-doo butt.
He doesn't have to pay taxes anymore.
Nope, he's out of the game, folks. He's out of the game.
By the way, you and Jack Hole Angry Beaver apparently think alike.
Why? What happened?
When my coworkers leave their computers unlocked and unattended, I set their desktop to random pictures like dogs shitting. What is wrong with you people?
It's just so Chef Patrick because he really doesn't know how to react.
That's true. Yes, he does not know what to do when that happens.
He texted me. He gave me the business. He laughed. He really didn't know what to do, how to react, to respond to it. But I just was like, so I passed the office on my way to get something.
Right.
And then I had to go back past it 10 seconds later on my way out. So as I passed it, I was like, oh, computer unattended. And I'm walking back and I immediately said, I'm like, what am I going to? Infected penis.
When I was doing work for HGTV, we would sit in meetings in the giant conference room with glass walls. And the IT guy at the time, it's been a few years ago, thought it would be funny because he would have access to your, because if you got on the network there, he would have access to your desktop. So during the meeting, he would randomly place video porn on my desktop and have it play during the meeting. Now, and this is the head of IT.
Here's the funny thing about that.
It wasn't my porn.
For most people, if they receive that porn, they would be embarrassed and immediately get rid of it and scrub it from the computer.
Right.
Brad Staggs, I know from experience, was not only not embarrassed, he still has those links.
I requested a small thumb drive so I could save it. It was...
Hey, Pete and IT, you wouldn't have a thumb drive, data stick, something?
You know, I did learn to keep my volume down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's never good.
You're not recording this, are you? No, never.
Not me.
Do you have any more communiques before we move on, or would you like to just move on?
Actually, Bang 97, the future sleeve, if you want to go down to jail, cocaine. See, it's the she don't like cocaine.
I'm going to go ahead and commit probably sacrilege to a lot of people.
What?
I do not care for Eric Clapton.
I was listening to a song of his. Yes, there are a few of his that are all right. I hate it.
I'm not saying he's horrible. I'm not saying
he's all.
And by the way, he's an amazing guitar player.
Yes,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Now, Layla.
He's kind of slow.
Love Layla. That's Derek and the Dominoes with whatever. The second half, the instrumental, is brilliant.
Right.
I like that. The rest of it, it's okay. You know, it's not like Steely Dan that is horrible.
They're not horrible.
It is awful.
No, they're not. Steely Dan is a good band. They were.
I would rather listen to two rats fighting over a baby's diaper in the New York subway while Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez provided color commentary than listen to Steely Dan for even a second.
So you've been to our Christmas party, I see. Steely Dan is a good band.
No, shut your mouth.
Why do you not like them?
Because it's horrible.
What makes it horrible?
It sounds bad.
So that's just your opinion.
My opinion's right, though.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen your taste.
Steely Dan or the Cars?
The Cars. Yeah, it's easy.
Steely Dan or the Eagles?
Eagles.
Steely Dan or AC/DC?
Two different genres.
I'm just busting this out there.
Different genres.
All right, we go down the list.
Those are two different moods. You're not listening to Steely Dan if you want to have a good time.
Steely Dan or Kelly Clarkson?
Steely Dan.
So you're just old.
No, I like Kelly Clarkson, but again, it's two
Steely
different
Dan
genres.
or Lady Gaga?
I like Lady Gaga. It depends
Steely
on the mood.
Dan or Camouflage?
Steely Dan. By the way, want some fun? Google Steely Dan sometime. Not the band.
The history.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
It's a large phallus. Metal one.
You kind of let that.
See what I got in my hand here?
I do see what you're. And in the other hand, you have Riduzone.
No, that's the other hand.
That's gotcha.
So I come in with my bottle of Riduzone today, and Brad goes, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, "It's mine." Is it full? Yes, there's Riduzone in it.
You can't leave valuable things like that laying around when I'm here.
He goes, "Can I have some?" And I said, "Absolutely, for a small price."
It was indeed a small.
And guess what?
It was a small price.
This one pill, I can sell you for just $40.
It's worth every penny.
It is.
It's worth every penny.
Because guess what? I have it. You can order it much cheaper online at riduzone.com.
But if I wanted it right now,
here it is.
$40.
I am in possession, so.
Well, it is 9/10 of the law. Or I could just wait until you're not looking.
Okay.
And steal a couple.
I'm going to hook you up. You want two?
Oh, look at you. I'm telling you.
I'm going to give you one for later.
The stuff works. And here's the thing. I've done the same thing that I did with Relief Factor. Stop taking it for a few days.
See what happens.
And
you'll know.
It's weird.
Because you ask yourself, you're like, well, I'm seeing effects, but is it really?
Right.
I don't know why we do that, but we do. You need to prove it to yourself.
Yeah, you do have to prove it to yourself.
See, I go through these cycles with eating where
it's called sleeping and awake.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's no
I'm
other
awake,
cycles. When I get to the point where, I haven't been watching what I've eaten, I'm not running, I'm not exercising, I'm not doing whatever, and I start gaining weight, it's kind of like the sport eating, you say.
Yes.
Where I start eating stuff I don't even like. I don't even like. I'm full. Like, I don't even like candy that much. I know you do.
Twisted is what you are.
No, I mean, I like sugar, but I prefer it with flour and eggs. I mean, I want
baked goods.
Right. So, but candy by itself, it's okay. I will gorge myself on candy just because it's there. It's like the switch in my head is flipped the wrong way about food and eating at that time.
You love the ribbon candy, don't you? The hard ribbon candy.
I don't.
Love to eat that.
And maybe that's what hurt my jaw. Thought
be.
about that.
Could be.
Maybe something else. I don't know. Anyway. And then there's times where you get the food you really like. When you get amazing, whatever it is, pizza or a burger or whatever that's awesome.
Pasta, I will do that every time.
And you are like, I am going to explode. But
I can just a bite
more. I want one more bite in my mouth because the sensation, everything is so good.
It is wafer thin. A wafer thin mint.
That's getting some other. That's not just eating. That's not the process of saying, well, my belly is empty and I'm eating and I enjoy you're servicing some other need in your noggin there.
Wow.
Right?
That's, yes, you are. Yes.
Riduzone's going to help with
It
both
feels
of those.
good. And it's the feel-good thing. It probably releases some, when you eat like that, it probably releases some pleasure hormone in your head.
Brad and I have kind of addictive personalities. Ron just has a dick personality.
Right,
Hey-o!
thank you. Be here all week. Tip your waitress. He's not listening.
I'm not to the level of full addiction. And addiction is difficult because it usually means it. What's the difference between doing something a lot and being addicted?
Blisters.
$20 team is downtown.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it's when it starts negatively impacting your life, which is a difficult measurement at times.
Yes, it is.
Actually. So I'm right there on the cusp of addictive personalities with stuff. When I lived in Vegas, and I love me some gambling.
I'm looking forward to shots.
I never gambled my rent. I came close.
Neither did I.
But I never gambled my rent. So that's where it's like you started gambling your rent, you have a problem.
Yes, you do.
I loved me growing up, some alcohol and whatever, but it never became something I could. So it's right there. Food is the same way, though. If I like doing it, blisters that's right?
Yes.
And food, same thing. It's a problem. And sometimes I can control it better than others. The good thing, I balance that addictive personality, but when I'm focused on something, like I'm running, I'm eating healthy or whatever, it's standard, it's easy for me to, I just follow the regimen.
You're dedicated. Let's put it that.
No, I'm able to focus that. But
Lindor white truffles.
Holy crud, are those the best? The white ones, are you right?
The white ones.
Son of a biscuit eater.
I swear to you, I have not had one of those, I think, in probably 5 years, because I'm afraid if I put one in my mouth,
you're not going to stop.
I could sit there.
You put one of those in your mouth, you're going to be trolling every dirty street corner in New York looking for
I'll lick
Lindor.
I would drink the gutter water for that. Those things, they would melt in you. And I would eat.
Would you lick a doorbell for 3 hours for one?
Yes. Those, I would eat the big bag of those in a sitting.
The Lindor, you nailed it. It's the white ones.
It's the white ones. I don't know what
the other ones are good, but the white ones,
and you don't chew them. You let them melt in your mouth.
And it's the outside versus the inside, right?
Yes.
Have you had some of the other ones that have white, like is it a cookies and cream one or something?
Yeah, it's
they're almost as good.
Yes, and that's my kryptonite, so I can't do.
Along those lines, the Andy's white chocolate peppermint that you get around Christmas. Have you had those?
And that other thing Andy does with his finger.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yes,
Same
those
thing.
white peppermint. Yeah,
I can. The M&Ms, the white,
the
white chocolate M&Ms.
Yeah, and the ones that come out at Christmas have the mint in them too.
Oh,
there's crack in those.
I can't stop.
And I literally have to not buy those because I will eat the whole package. But that's what Riduzone does. It actually knocks that edge off.
It does, and it gets me because I go through these cycles at times where stress or whatever it is, I fall, the switch gets flipped the wrong way. Riduzone helps get me back there because it takes away that gotta eat feeling, and also helps me start losing by burning calories. Try it today, riduzone.com, riduzone.com. A few years ago at Christmas, my mom got a couple of those big boxes of Andes, the peppermint. What they call it, Christmas bark or one of those.
Yeah, it's not.
It's the white chocolate, mint.
Even though the black, the dark chocolate
awesome
with the green
too,
stuff in there.
So she looks at it and she goes, eh. So
What the hell's wrong with her?
She'd never had it.
Oh.
Mom had never had it.
Wow.
So she says to my sister, "Here, you want this?" My sister's like, "Yeah, sure." She goes, I'll try one. So she takes one, hands the rest. My sister goes, leaves, drives to her house. Halfway home, my mom calls. Bring those back.
See, it runs in the family.
She was like, seriously, you got to bring some of those back right now. My sister's like, turn around.
It's got to do something. They have to. It's like cigarettes.
I don't know what it is.
There's something in those that, man, how does Matlock not eat those and like them?
I'm really starting to lean to Matlock is
a lizard.
One of the lizard people.
He's a lizard person.
That's my speculation.
You know what? That's why he gained the weight. I think he's about to molt or lay eggs. If we come in here and there's strange spheres on the ground,
if there's that, if there's a big cocoon stuck to the corner
that's
of the
nothing.
room,
Just leave that alone.
Up in the high corner. What is that creepy cocoon?
Nothing. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I'm just as surprised as you are, but leave it alone and don't tell anybody. Why is it so warm in here all the time?
Do not adjust the thermostat. Jack
he
Hole,
doesn't.
There's something wrong with him. Something horribly wrong with him. Jack Hole Adams put one in my mouth and no bell. There's your bell.
Sorry.
Stephen English, as Charlie Sheen says, it's not a drug problem if you can afford it.
That's a good problem.
That's a good point.
We need someone to count the missed bell opportunities and tweet it at the end of every broadcast.
And for that, we will send you a glorious prize package composed of things you can't get anywhere else, or you'll get nothing at all.
Sam Sorbo starts on this platform on Monday, February 4th. Monday, February 4th. And Brad just discovered the other morning, wow, she's hot. I was like, where have you been for the last 2 months when we've been working out the deal?
You always talk about her in the meetings, and I'm never paying attention in the meetings.
Wow.
Meetings bore the crap out of me. So when I finally saw her, she was a shiny thing.
And now he can't eat M&Ms, so he's just a mess at meetings.
Right.
I mean, we know he doesn't pay attention anyway, but without sugar, he's done.
He is.
Look at him.
I have so little.
Did you see the comment? I have to make the comment from yesterday, not to be interruptive here, and I'm just floating around
You're
the studio
good at
because
it,
I'm bored.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah.
Did you see the comment on Twitter where you resemble Bucky with the red hat? It's true, Bucky.
From
Bucky's, the gas station. The big Bucky's here in Texas.
The weasel?
Have you seen the
No,
weasel?
it's a beaver. It's not a weasel.
It's more like a weasel.
He secretes. Does he secrete things?
He might.
Right.
Have you ever grabbed his castor sacks? If you've never grabbed Bucky's castor sacks, you ain't lived. I look at Bucky.
I mean, come on. Does he not know that Sam Sorbo's hot?
I had never really looked at a picture
She
of
was
her.
a model, dude.
Okay. She was a model dude.
She was a model dude.
Comma.
Comma.
Punctuation saves lives.
is good. She was a model, comma.
And
dude.
she's so nice.
She's smart. Why
Smart
she picked
too.
our platform, I'll never know.
You guys know her?
You know what I think
Don't
this
tell
is?
anybody.
Honestly, I think this is like penance. Or
like jail?
No, she's
penance and tolerance.
Yeah, she's doing time. You know how
I just sent you a pic, Brad. Check that one.
You know, she's a Christian.
Not another dick.
And Christians will do outreach. I think this is her ministry to save us. Your mic's not on.
Whoa.
Your mic's not on. We're not hearing you.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
It's her mission.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ron turned it off on instinct. Yeah, he just turned it off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do your mission. Yeah, she's beautiful. So I think she's like, well, Kevin,
I met this doctor.
It's time for our next mission.
Right.
But not mission when you go to
mission.
Yeah,
it's a mission. It's a mission trip.
Yeah, mission trip. Well, my next project, I don't know how long it's going to take. It's probably going to be, based on what I'm hearing, 10, 20, maybe 30 years. It might just end up being my life's work. If I can save just one of them, it'll be worth it.
Nah, we're hopeless.
She joins us February 4th from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. MoJo50.com.
I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me mojo or give me death. MoJo 50.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
No term was hotter in 2018 than the words fake news, but here in January 2019, it's time for that term to retire, especially after the results of a recent study by Princeton and NYU researchers surrounding the 2016 election, where the term got its original start. Just don't tell that to the folks at Vox, who are still holding out strong for that whole election was stolen narrative. They even attempt to use the study we're about to talk about to drum up fear over those evil Republicans and old people. The numbers in the conclusion of the actual study say something very different, though. First, let's start with this number from the study, 90, as in 90% of all respondents shared 0 fake news links at all. So that leaves 10%, and what did the study say of those people? Let's start with this number, 7. According to the study, people aged 65 or older were 7 times more likely to spread fake news on Facebook. But this group also was the one who spends the least time on Facebook and the least likely to discern fake news. The study also pointed out that 18% of conservatives and independents shared fake news, with just 3.5% of liberals doing so. The study also points out, though, the difference had much more to do with Republicans and independents being exposed to pro-Trump messaging and thus the activity of bots and fake news agents. But just how much did that actually influence the election? Well, that evil 65 and up crowd shared less than 0.08 fake news links per person, and Republicans or independents, they shared less than 0.5 of a fake news link per person, according to the study. So if we're to take Vox seriously, we're supposed to believe all of these numbers add up to a major crisis and the reason Clinton lost the election. Is it just me, or does the narrative not match the reality of facts once again? Dare I say all the reporting on the subject is fake news? This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins. You can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
All right, moving on.
We're going to start charging for what's between
Wow, I'm serious. Too hot for radio.
Oh, man.
All right, did you get your adaptogens?
I did. They're very pleasant tasting, too.
Yeah.
Did you? I think I've said this before, but the Russians studied these in the 70s.
I did not know that.
For their athletes, this was what they were
Is
using.
this what gave Ivan Drago all that punching
Yes,
power?
see?
Oh, my gosh.
Exactly. And Martina Navratilova, she's Russian, right? She seems Russian. She's Russian today.
It gave that dude a lot of power, too.
No kidding. But they studied adaptogens in the 70s to give their athletes more endurance, more energy, and at the same time balancing them.
You know, we've talked about life hacks, and, you know, a lot of the clients we have in the air here are things that we hope will make your life better, a little easier, save you money somehow. Doing some of the simple things to just help you out. And the richsolution.com is one of those things, because you're likely, if you spend some time at the richsolution.com, going to find something to make your life better. It's probably going to be the supplements.
Yes.
They have different kinds of supplements. We're talking the platinum standard of supplements here. Top of the line, the best you can get in combinations that are going to help you deal with all kinds of different things. But also the emotional and intellectual support to turn your life around based on their story. When you hear the Rich's story, you're going to be impressed. You can read it via book form at therichsolution.com.
Well, quite frankly, I'm entranced with the enhanced sex for women 50 plus.
Of course.
I don't know if that's a number or an age, but I'm okay with it either way. If a little bell went off in your head when that happened, you need to check the enhanced sex for women over 50. They've got pretty much a supplement for everything. And to say that they have researched this stuff, here's the difference. I mean, you can get supplements anywhere. You can get supplements at the drugstore. You can get them at the store. You can go to Kroger and buy supplements.
It's about the combination and the quality.
Yeah, and the customer service. And that's the difference at the Rich Solution. And this is a person who's gone through hell and cancer and breaking her neck.
Yep.
Yeah, being married to Adam.
And life with Adam.
Yeah, which is, she having to...
I mean, every day him with the soaks and down to the club, you know.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough life. Everything from digestion to enhanced sleep to brain function. It's all at therichsolution.com. We're taking the adaptogens because we have no stress in our life.
Nothing. None.
Life is such a breeze.
TheRichSolution.com. Check it out today. There is a Democratic rep from the state of Washington. Her name is Pramila Jayapal, and she told Chris Hayes on MSNBC she knows Trump's real secret goal about the border wall. The border wall he doesn't want a border wall. It's not what it is.
What is it?
He has a real secret agenda, a goal.
Okay.
She knows what it is.
I can only imagine.
Do you know what it is? Of course not, or it wouldn't be a secret.
Right.
But we're going to let the cat out of the bag.
Wow, this is risky. Putting our reputations and our safety on the line for...
Think for a moment all the things that it could be. You know, because, I mean, the guy's dealing with Russia.
Right.
And, he's just trying to make money and build his company and the kids and whatever. What is his real secret plan? Well, here's Representative with Chris Hayes on MSNBC explaining the president's goal.
Joining me now, Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington, who's at the southern border last month.
Did you catch her name?
It's a bubble.
Ready? Listen, here we go.
Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington.
Yeah. I think you said it right the first time.
Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington, who's at the southern border last month helping migrants seek asylum and who worked with immigrants and immigrant rights before she came to Congress.
By the way, her name fits her when you see her.
Do you think a deal can be made, or do you think this is fundamentally existential and cannot be made?
It is fundamentally existential.
Fundamentally existential.
I'm like, man, does that apply? I guess it does, but it's...
No, really, the wall being fundamentally existential
is... a bit of a stretch.
It could be metaphorical, but I don't know how it would be existential.
Does he mean that, because he said, can a deal be done, or is it...
Oh, it's a deal.
Right? Because he
said...
listen,
immigrant rights before she came to Congress. Do you think a deal can be made, or do you think this is fundamentally existential and
do you believe a deal can be made, or is it fundamentally existential?
No, I don't think that applies.
It's a big stretch.
It is.
Because what he's saying, can a deal be done, or is it over?
Right. That would be. That wouldn't be.
Is it
he's
dead?
not looking for. Yeah, he used the wrong word.
It's
or maybe
It can be.
maybe existential is the new literally.
Okay.
Or do you think this is fundamentally existential and cannot be made?
And fundamentally existential.
Right. Yeah.
She follows it up because she doesn't know what it means.
It is fundamentally existential if he can.
Wrong. I agree with Howard Johnson.
I agree with what Bill Johnson said about Howard Johnson.
Used to insist on a wall. And, you just said it so beautifully, Chris. This has never been
Here it is. Ready? There's the secret.
All right.
Here it comes.
so beautifully, Chris. This has never been about a wall. He actually
What's it been about?
I'm going to write this down.
gotten funding a couple of years ago or a year ago for a wall. It was part of a deal that was proposed. Not all of us agreed with that deal, but it was proposed to him, and he turned it down because his ultimate goal is...
After this sponsor. We'll tell you coming up in 60 seconds.
Deal or no deal. Here it is. Because his ultimate goal is...
I'm ready.
You said to make America pure in the sense of not having immigrants, not having folks of color here, and shutting down every form of legal immigration.
He wants America to be all white.
Whitey McWhiterson.
That's what he wants. He wants to get rid of all immigrants. He wants it to be pure. She did the little air quotes as she said it.
Right.
And get rid of all minorities. That's his goal. That's what Trump is secretly doing. Now you know.
If he was doing it in that sense, wouldn't he want the country to be orange? I mean, come on.
Pure orange. That's
pure orange.
Okay.
With that deal, but it was proposed to him, and he turned it down because his ultimate goal is, as you said, to make America pure in the sense of not having immigrants, not having folks of color here, and
not having folks of color. Remember, I thought it was POC, but apparently it's FOC. Folks of color.
Folks of color.
That would be anybody that's not white.
Yes.
So he does not want anybody here that's not white.
Absolutely. Who's going to mow the lawns?
This is what she floated out there. Does she really believe this?
I don't know who's going to do
America pure in the sense of not having immigrants, not having folks of color here, and shutting down every form of legal immigration.
He wants to shut down all the legal immigration.
Yeah.
He's been president for 2 years. Has he shut down legal immigration?
No, he was too busy banning bump stocks. But no.
He hasn't even tried to shut down legal immigration.
Of course not.
He did try to get a temporary ban from some countries.
Yes, that had funded terrorism.
Right. But that's not legal immigration.
Right. No.
In fact, my wife became a naturalized citizen while Trump was president.
Whoa. The country is no longer safe.
And she's an FOC.
She's one of them Fox.
She is. She is a folk of color.
Throw a bone to those people. And the only thing...
So...
The only thing he wants to do... He wants this to be white...
Right?
He's Hitler. He is Hitler.
That's
the bottom line.
That's what she's saying.
Why doesn't he just wear the swastika for Why doesn't he just replace the flag with the swastika?
Why in the world are you heading down his true motivations with no facts to base this on? And stop. You're not helping your goal. Can you give people just a little bit of credit? Because by saying Trump wants that, you're saying either the rest of America that voted for him is too dumb to see through what he really wants, or they too want America to be pure with just white folk.
And somebody said it best on Twitter. I can't remember who was it. The whole thing has jumped the shark because they've jumped over into farce land. It doesn't make any sense.
As much as they claim his statements are not based on fact, and quite often they are not, theirs aren't either. See, Trump will say things like, I had 1 million people come to the White House last month, 1 million visitors. Well, we checked, he only had 200,000.
Right.
He says things like we go, we say figurative things.
Right.
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. So they would say, Trump, lunch was fantastic. I was so hungry I could have eaten a horse. We've determined, based on his size, he didn't have the stomach capacity to actually consume a horse, even if it was a small, like Shetland pony-like horse.
Right.
That's what they do. He says these things quite often that are figurative. It's like you and I, throwing out, I don't know, she's like 112. Because she's 55.
Right.
We just throw these. That's what they, and it goes back to the election. Well, it seems like they take him literally, but not seriously. That was I can't remember who said this. It was a brilliant statement after he got elected. Throughout the campaign, they kept trying to take him literally, and yet they didn't take him seriously. So his campaign, they didn't take serious. He was a joke until election night, and Rachel Maddow started crying. When that dude broke down and started crying, the whole country wept. Right? So they were shocked because they didn't take him seriously. Yet, everything he said, they took literally.
Right.
And not the new literally that means figuratively. They said he could eat a cow. We've determined he couldn't eat a cow.
Yeah. Yes. They fact check him. He gets more of an anal exam every time he speaks.
So their fact checking is ridiculous as well. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes he does float out a bunch of crap.
Yes,
Every president does.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it more of it? I don't know.
He is not.
I know Obama had all kinds of lies of omission.
He is not the first president to stretch the truth, omit facts, change facts.
There are lies of omission. They call it spin, but it is a lie of omission. The one I keep telling you, when Obama repeatedly said, we lowered the deficits. Right. Okay, technically you did.
Yes.
Taken out of context, you didn't realize the first 2 years you ratcheted them up to 3 times what they were, and still they were higher at that point than Bush's.
Yeah. Stay out to Bush's.
But that's a lie of omission.
Yeah.
When you get all of the facts, you realize, well, it's not really as he's intending it. The idea was saying you lower deficits was, oh my gosh, he's so fiscally responsible.
But it goes back to Ocasio-Cortez's statement that is the right is so focused on people being factually right and not being morally right.
Yes, but they're the ones who keep criticizing Trump for being not factual.
It's upside down. Everything is upside down.
So while you're still not taking him seriously and trying to take him literally, if you cared at all about America or half of the country that supported him, you would start saying, they have a different viewpoint, a different point of view, where they are in on the gag of him trolling people and not being literal in much of what he says. It would be a whole different world.
Yes.
So instead, she says that he wants America to be white. When she got off that interview, she was like, I finally said it because I believe he wants America to be only white. And the people that support him, do you really believe that? Or were you just saying that to gin people up? Either way, it's reprehensible and ignorant.
And again, if it is true, we are on that slow walk to anarchy. It's coming at us quickly.
It's unbelievable.
And it's not slowing down. It's not stopping.
I love on Twitter when in a little battle with people about racism and people will call me out. And then people are like, yeah, you're really being ignorant here. You're really... Maybe investigate Doc a little bit more.
Nick Searcy, they do the same thing to him. He has a black adopted son.
Oh, that's right.
And they would throw arrows at him. And
here's a picture of me and my son. Have a good day.
Yeah. And they don't know what to do with that. No.
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
No. It is stunning. Yeah. Twitter is really... I can't remember who said it. It's a sewer anymore. It is a sewer of nasty people just bantering back and forth. I know, I love it. They are going to in 200 years look back, and this is what started it all with that damn bird. It's the downfall of society.
It's incredible.
I'm starting to sound like an old person.
You
shut your mouth. Shut up.
That's the
get off my lawn. Damn it. And turn that music down.
Your metaphorical lawn?
Yes.
Or your literal, your figurative or literal lawn?
Get out of my house. Get out of my house, damn it. It's really scary where we're going. It all goes back to, I don't know how we get back from here.
I have tried so hard for my own curiosity and for entertainment and to do a little bit of good to talk to these people. Sit down here. The question I want to ask her is, do you really believe Trump and his supporters, forget on the air, off the air, tell me, just be honest with me for a second. Do you really believe that the president wants America to be exclusively white? Do you really believe that?
I think there's a large percentage that do. The problem with politicians is that they are smart enough, most of them, to play to their audience. So you can't tell whether or not she's just playing to the audience or whether she believes it herself. And I'm not sure you'd ever get the truth out of her.
That's my question, and it probably varies. It's a moving target of who is just stupid, who ignorant, who is being calculated and manipulative with their agenda, or who is doing both.
And that's why, again, going back to what we were discussing yesterday on the politicians wearing body cams, that's why you'll never have it, because the truth would come out.
I think I can explain a little bit of it when it comes to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I think I can sum up hers via a joke. By the way, is Ron Phillips there?
Ron Phillips.
I'll joke for you here, too.
All right.
So a plane is on its way to Washington, D.C. from New York. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is in economy seats. All of a sudden, she gets up. She just heads up to first class and sits her ass down. And the flight attendant's like, ma'am, you don't have a first class ticket. You're going to have to go back. And she said, I can do what I want. I'm young. I'm a socialist. Shouldn't we live in a society without classes? And she said, ma'am, seriously, you can't sit here. You're going to have to go back there. And she said, you don't understand. I'm a social justice warrior. I'm young. Shouldn't we live in a society without classes? So she doesn't know what to do. So she goes up to the pilots and she's like, listen, I'm having this problem. I don't know what to do. So pilot goes, tell me what's going on. So she gives a scenario and he goes, wait a minute. I know a lot of these statists, these leftists. Let me help you out here. So he walks back and he whispers in Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's ear, and she goes, okay. And she gets up, she goes back to coach. He walks up to the front of the plane and they go, what did you tell her? And he goes, I just simply told her this plane, the first class doesn't go to D.C. Only coach on this plane goes to DC. Yeah.
See what you did there, though? I see. And she was dumb enough to believe it. See, that's the problem. I don't think Ocasio-Cortez.
There are people out there right now going,
is dumb.
I don't understand.
See, the whole plane is going to D.C.
Right,
it doesn't
yes, the whole
break
thing.
up there.
Yeah, that's the idea there. It's different.
Nancy Pelosi has a solution for the border wall.
And your little dog, too.
She has something that she thinks will help out. A proposal.
Aha!
And I have that proposal. She obviously doesn't want the wall.
Right.
But if you're talking that, $5 billion,
right.
She has a suggestion.
Right. We are proposing is to build the infrastructure of the ports of entry.
Build the infrastructure for the ports of entry. Build that.
Well, is she talking about, is that the physical infrastructure or is that the government infrastructure?
Is to build the infrastructure of the ports of entry, strengthen the ports of entry. Spend the money, it's hundreds of millions of dollars, but accessible to have the scanning technology to scan cars coming through for drugs, contraband of any.
You will not be bringing the contraband into this country. You with your contraband, you get out of your car.
What about contraband, Congresswoman?
That is perfectly acceptable.
That is fine?
But no contraband.
So
she's saying beef up security where you're legally supposed to cross the border.
Why don't we already have that?
I thought we did. Which is why people
supposed
go
to
around it.
Do you remember the border wall of 2006? That heading down, this was when George W. Bush suggested amnesty, pushed amnesty.
Right.
And there was a huge backlash because of people like you and me and said, hell no. And so They pushed a border wall through. The Republicans needed to get, some wins.
Right.
So just before the midterm elections of 06, they pushed this border wall through. The money was allocated, and they simply never built it after. As soon as the election was over, it never got done. Well, they did spend some of the money and do some, but they didn't actually get serious or do this. And when they got questioned, I'd say, well, no, it's an invisible wall. It's a tech wall.
It's an invisible
It's a high-tech wall with cameras.
Right. So they said they did build it, and then it's there.
Yeah. I mean, they meant, well, there's cameras that detect stuff and all this. It was nonsense. It was crap. If it's this serious, and Democrats have had exclusive control of getting legislation passed, White House, both houses of Congress, the Republicans have as well, and they both say they're serious about border security, fine. Forget the wall for a moment. Forget it altogether. Why didn't you, Republicans, why didn't you Democrats find a true way to secure the country, to secure the border? Why didn't you do it? Nancy, you have the idea. This is it. This is the plan. Why didn't you do it? Why didn't the Republicans do it? How come it is not? Either you don't believe it's that big of a deal.
If you follow logic.
And are lying now.
What?
Or you're just dumb.
Are you suggesting the politicians are lying to us?
No, I'm outright saying they're doing that.
Coming through for drugs, contraband of any kind, weapons even.
You mean like the weapons that the Obama administration smuggled into Mexico? So are you also going to have some sort of device that will monitor people smuggling things out of the country as well? Like the government doing that?
Repair the roads that facilitate immigration and trade in those regions.
Oh, we need to build better roads so the immigrants can come here.
It's the roads, damn it. She is a genius.
Better roads.
I had never thought of that.
Nancy Pelosi, super genius.
It's a positive, shall we say, almost technological wall that can be built.
Again, the invisible tech wall, see?
Yes.
We should be doing.
Why didn't they already do such things? Well. It's crap. It's a pageant from both of them.
Yes.
If you're tired of stuff like this, do what you can to fight it by signing up for a Patriot Mobile account today. PatriotMobile.com/doc. You sign up for an account, and they tend to spend just a little bit of the money that they make in profits every month on the things that you support.
Your cell bill will only be $1,500 a month, and they will give a portion of that extra money that you're paying.
In fact, you're probably going to save money from what you're paying now.
Wow.
They have great deals. Just look them up. Go to PatriotMobile.com/doc. Look them up today, and you'll realize the amazing deals. They are a proud sponsor of our platform here. They're trying to help us in a lot of different ways, the things we're doing. So please support them as well. You want to see this grow? Sign up for a Patriot Mobile account. Don't worry about coverage. They have great nationwide coverage, amazing coverage, great deals, and you're no longer giving your money to those morons at AT&T.
It's a great picture of Doc's son on the site there. If you go to patriotmobile.com/doc, you'll see a very it's obviously a picture of his son, or maybe your younger brother.
20 minutes ago.
Now, I want to keep this is why I'm not going to do it, because I can't. I like my phone. I like my number.
Keep your number.
I don't.
You can keep it.
Wait, what?
You can keep it with Patriot Mobile. You can.
Well,
it's the law. You can do that.
Well, they probably hate first responders and
active duty
military.
Special discounts for active duty and first responders.
Well, that activation fee.
No, a lot of times they'll just wave that goodbye. I'll just check out all the deals. Just go to patriotmobile.com/doc.
What do you mean it's let's go?
All righty. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned adding the word smart to a product doesn't necessarily make it smart, logical, or even a good idea. For example, if I said smart Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's going to be just as dumb. We learned pro-criminal tip number 4413. Prison guards have the ability to look up.
Yeah, it's weird. You wouldn't think they have the neck capability to look upward, but they do.
We learned take a bag full of drugs to your court hearing for drugs. That's why they call it dope. We learned face tattoos are a cry for help.
They really are. They really are. Yes, they are. Thank you.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
I've had too much caffeine. I learned that smart guns will be purchased by stupid people. Yeah, it'll be a problem. I learned also that
I like my guns stupid.
Oh, yeah. I want them dumber than my women.
Wow, that's going to be a difficult
Wow,
standard.
it is going to be tough. I learned that thing you did in college with your finger. Yeah, it's going to be outlawed under the new gun bill.
Come on.
Yeah, you can't do that fast finger
Wow.
thing. Nope. I learned that appearing in court with drugs on a drug charge is like bringing your girlfriend home to meet your wife. It really doesn't end well. I also learned that when committing armed robbery, you should use a disguise that you can remove later.
Oh, you're right.
It's just, it works out best that way. And finally,
less identifiable.
yeah, it really is. And finally, I learned that Helen Keller would make a horrible tattoo artist. And there's proof. Yeah.
Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Over on the Facebook, Kevin Hutchings learned the Democrats don't want the border secure. They want to grow the Democrat Party. Whoa, that's a new one. We should think about that.
Well, they just consider them future Democrats.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
undocumented Democrats.
Or Republicans, either way.
Yeah, that's true.
Over on the MeWe, the censored, my censor, well, and that if I'm censoring things, it's bad. Leprechaun learned new rapper Doo Butt spews crap from both ends.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Rough Jill Hole learned Brad just gave us permission to follow him around. It's not stalking if you really, nobody really
Here's the
wants to
thing.
meet me.
Brad would actually enjoy that.
I'm not that interesting. My life is so dull. Casey Weitzel learned if Brad Staggs shrieks in horror at your photo, you don't have a chance in hell with anyone at all. What the hell are you trying to say? Rusty Lugnuts learned, well, now that she's got that figured out, I wonder what she knows about his plan to get rid of all the black people. Where are they going to be deported to? We sending them all back to Africa?
Who's that?
Well, when they get the representative who knows that Trump just wants America to be white, we send the brown people to Mexico. We send the black people back to Africa.
I would look at it like this. You don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.
Man.
I'm not going to mandate that Chinese people go back to China. That's irrelevant.
Last one off.
We just don't want them here. That's how it is.
I got a little red in me, so I'm staying here. Hey-o. Stephen English over on the Twitter learned, I got it. We bury a 2,200 mile wide long along the border, dig a trench, and fill it with everyone in the world with a shock collar. It's not a bad idea. I didn't really understand it. Symbolic Kitty Galore learned that's just dumb. I wonder if Melania is aware that POTUS hates immigrants. See,
she's one of the white ones.
That's going to change the situation a little bit.
She's a hot white one.
Yeah, she is.
That's a great point. I can't believe we missed that. Because she didn't say just white people. She said immigrants and folks of color.
Yes. Fox.
Yeah.
Fox. Jack Hole Adams learned Brad is offering his package for someone to count Miss Bells. It's a pound me too moment. Thank you. Tech Roo learned Bucky is pure. He has no castor sacks to grab.
Is the weasel's name Bucky?
It's not a weasel. It's a beaver.
It looks more like a weasel.
Have you ever seen one?
Have you ever seen a weasel? I didn't get to those new numbers on procrastination. I just realized that. Can I do it Monday? Just do it Monday?
You can do it Monday, except you may be listening right now, and it may be Monday. So if it's not Monday,
not do that.
it
That's
could
just
be
getting more
tomorrow.
confusing. We'll do it Monday. What else do we have coming up? You don't know. What does Matlock have coming up?
Well, maybe us coming up, not Matlock. In that case, it might be the
really
weekend.
Don't do that.
So
what are you
unless
doing?
you're listening to podcast.
Oh, you just make my head hurt.
might be
Remember,
us
your
again.
Daily Mojo is today a Ron Phillips production.
Yes.
Sic Semper Tyrannis, thus always to tyrants. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are. Anya, now you go home.
Yeah, it could be Monday. Might be the weekend.
Don't.
It could be us next.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk.